make a huge difference here.
Delicious.
Back in Honolulu, a look at Diamond Head along Waikiki, and just a short trip, maybe 20 minutes or so, to the Aloha Stadium, which overlooks Pearl Harbor. SMU set to take on Nevada. Nevada was here back in 2005. SMU, as we said, hasn't been to a bowl in 25 years, but they've got a guy running the show right now who ran the show at Hawai'i for 9 years, June Jones, 1-11 to a bowl game. And I'm not sure who they're more excited about here in the Honolulu area coming for the holidays, June Jones or President Barack Obama, who's coming today as well.
He should be showing up here soon on the island. Well, you look at June Jones, and the last time the Hawaii fans saw him, 12-0 in the regular season, he takes his team to the Sugar Bowl. And you think about that, Hawaii in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia. And I truly think that he's one of the best X's and O's coaches in all of football, and that means college and pro. His run-and-shoot style offense, of course, he was a quarterback at Portland State back in the 70s for Mouse Davis, the pioneer of the run-and-shoot offense. And he is a type of guy that specializes in turning programs around. And you look at Hawaii, you look at SMU, and I'm not sure there's a better coach in college football when it comes to picking up something that's broken and putting the pieces back together.
And on the other side, you've got one of the three active coaches who, well, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. Chris Ault, his fifth year of his third term, so 25 years overall at Nevada. He was the AD for a while, took the program back over, brought it back. He saw it go from Division II to where they are right now. SMU won the toss. They elect to receive, and it's dropped by Brian McCann, who picks it up, runs to the near sideline, and is brought down out at the 21-yard line. So that's where the Mustang offense will start their first series of the game. SMU 7-5 overall, 6-2 in Conference USA play. The Western co-champs, and a youngster, a freshman, running the show, Kyle Padron, who's from South Lake, Texas. South Lake Carroll High School. They've produced some great quarterbacks through the years. 6'4", 201 pounds. He came on because Bo Levi Mitchell was injured in the 7th game and has run it since, and run it very well, David.
Yeah, he really has. And you mentioned South Lake Carroll, and Greg McElroy at Alabama. He's going to be in the national title game. He's from South Lake, and we all remember Chase Daniel at Missouri, a Heisman finalist.
So here comes the run and shoot. Zach Line gets the call. He gets the start, and he's driven backward, runs right into that defensive front of Nevada for a loss. Brandon Marshall, the first guy in there to stop it. So it's Zach Line who gets the first carry, not Sean Bray McNeil, who's gone over 1,000 yards. The first 1,000-yard rusher ever in college for June Jones. Pretty amazing.
That is amazing, and not that June Jones doesn't stress the run game, but usually when he's had success with a back at the college level, it's a 700 or 800-yard season. And McNeil, a Miami transfer, and he runs like a hurricane.
5 receivers set now. After the loss of 1, it's 2nd and 11. Padron back, steps up, throws over the middle. He's got his man. Open is Cole Beasley. One guy to beat. Inside the 10, down to the 9. Padron right on target on the second play from scrimmage. Beasley, a sophomore from Little Elm, Texas. That's his 38th catch of the year.
Well, June Jones has long been a vertical advocate in the pass game. And he goes with 5 wide receivers. We thought we might see this early. Nevada thin in the defensive backfield, and Beasley creases it up the seam.
And Nevada without a couple of key players defensively. More on that in just a moment, but it is 1st and goal from the 9. Sean Bray McNeil looks to get to the outside. Gets to the end zone. Touchdown just like that. SMU is on the board early here in Honolulu. All right, so what was it that we said? This could be a game where we see a lot of points.
Yeah, we thought maybe some scoring, and I think we're going to get it. And you get a look at Sean Bray McNeil. I mentioned he runs like a hurricane, and I didn't mean a proverbial hurricane. I meant a Miami hurricane. He has that type of talent.
After the 71-yard pass, that was a 9-yard touchdown run. Matt Szymanski on for the extra point. 13-29. You blink your eyes, you might miss a touchdown today.
And it was a nice run to finish off the drive. But how about the ball down the center of the field to Cole Beasley? It looked with the naked eye like Padron might have overthrown him, and Beasley did a great job keeping his deep speed, gobbled up that reception, and McNeil walks in.
3 plays, 79 yards, a minute 31 off the clock, and yes, the Mustangs are here.
Peruna.
That's Peruna. That's not one of the two that bring the team to the stadium, and then Peruna takes over once they're inside the stadium. But they did ship them, yes.
There's been some drama down in Highland Park. They brought in the 2 new Mustangs, and some of the old guards said, hey, we like Peruna, don't bring those Mustangs out on our field. And so they all get involved in the pregame, I hear now, but Peruna has survived. There's a Mustang.
There you go.
Well, they let him in this stadium.
Khalid Wooten, Mike Ball back deep for the Wolfpack. It'll be Ball from the 14. Across the 30, still up. Good return out close to the 40-yard line. So a chance now for this Nevada offense to put some points on the board. There is a flag down at the 38 at the end of the play. Lan Clark, your referee today.
During the return, holding, return team, number 49. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Nevada.
All right, so Colin Kaepernick with his offense backed up a little bit after the hold, but Kaepernick, just a junior. I think people forget that, all that he's accomplished, but second leading rusher. In fact, he's in the top 30 in the nation, 28 in the nation as a rushing quarterback. He's got an arm as well, and people don't think of that first, mostly because they've been so effective running the football this year. They've led the nation by far, but they haven't thrown it nearly as much as they would have liked to. Keep it on the ground and come this way. Good carry out to the 36. Lamford Mark, the sophomore from Fresno, and the 4th leading rusher this year, just under 300 yards. But remember, Lippincott and Tawa out. That'll be a major storyline for Nevada through the afternoon. Mark, along with Mike Ball, splitting the carries at the tailback spot. Virgil Green, an important part of the offense at tight end. They use 3 tight ends, and they're a big part of the blocking scheme. Gain of 7 on first down, so it's 2nd and 3 out of the pistol. Mark again, straight ahead, powers his way close to a first down. It looks like he did get it, and that'll be the storyline, offensively at least, for Nevada. Can SMU get enough strength and numbers up in the box to stop the run?
Well, and it's also going to be a lot about the front 3 and how they hold up, because Nevada spreads you out. They make you play sound in terms of responsibilities. Who's going to take the quarterback, who's going to take the tailback on the zone read, and this offensive line has been terrific. The numbers have been staggering when you talk about the run game for Nevada this year.
You talk about that pistol offense, the quarterback a little closer to the line of scrimmage, the back behind him. Kaepernick keeps it and gets across the 40 to the 42. Marquise Frazier, a sophomore from Garland, Texas, on the stop. Check out our impact players, brought to you by Theraflu when Nevada has the ball.
Yeah, Lamford Mark, he went over the 100-yard mark against San Jose State. 475 career yards. He's gotten a lot of quality carries over the last couple of years. Brandon Wimberly, the freshman offensive player of the year in the WAC. He's the best freshman that Chris Auld has ever had at the wide receiver spot. And then Chase Kennemer, a middle linebacker, originally a walk-on, a transfer from Texas A&M as a walk-on, and he is one of the top 15 tacklers when you look at total tackles in the country.
Kennemer going to law school. He's a grad student. Quick throw complete. Virgil Green, the tight end, should have a first down. He does. Across midfield into SMU territory. And Kaepernick throwing for the first time and throwing on the run.
We talked about the numbers, and they have been truly impressive, but Colin Kaepernick, his improvement as a passer in the offseason has been pretty remarkable. He's gone from about a 50% passer to up over 60%, and he can threaten you 2 ways offensively.
Ball and Mark in the game now, both tailbacks, and it's Lamford Mark who carries it inside the 45. Frazier again in on the stop. Frazier, Chris Parham, and Taylor Thompson up front, and they do play that 3-4, kind of a Pittsburgh Steel. Those 3 will be key today. Chris Banjo wearing number 23. Jerry Levias, first African-American player in the Southwest Conference back in the 60s, an All-American. It's kind of handing that number out in honor of him. And Banjo has earned it. Lamford marked the carry just inside the 40 as Nevada keeps it on the ground.
This offense on the ground has been unstoppable at times, especially during the 8-game win streak, the WAC schedule. They lost their finale, Chris Ault's team, to Boise State 44-33. First time in NCAA history, 3 players on an offense all go over 1,000 yards rushing.
They started the season 0-3, lost to Notre Dame, Colorado, and Missouri. Courtney Randall now in that tailback. Kaepernick keeps it, hit right at the 40 and stopped there. Rock Dennis, the strong safety, came up to make the hit.
Yeah, this is in an area of the field where I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Ault lines up on 4th down and goes for it. Looks like he's going to send the punt team on.
Yeah, June, you could tell he was a little hesitant too to see what they were going to do, and Kaepernick comes back
up. Pull him back off.
Yep, they will go for it.
They had the punt team all the way out to the center of the football field, and
SMU had their punt team on the field, and now they've got to burn a timeout to get the right personnel back on. Back to Honolulu in a moment.
When I think of value, I think of something that's going to last. Something that's priced right. I think of Wrangler. Always have.
For unbeatable comfort and value, you can count on Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built comfortable with a relaxed fit. Priced right for a great value.
You can pay more, but you won't get more.
Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Man, quitting sucks. That's better.
Quitting sucks. Nicorette makes it suck less, doubling your chances of success.
Now during the GMC holiday event, get our best offer of the year, 0% APR for 72 months. Or you can get $5,500 total cash back on select 2009 Sierras in stock.
Aloha and welcome to the 2009 Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl. Starwood Hotels and Resorts, the Sheraton brand, and Kiowa Hotel Corporation are proud to be the title sponsors of one of the nation's most exciting bowl games. This year we are honored to welcome the SMU Mustangs and the Nevada Wolfpack and all their loyal fans watching us here in Hawaii and from home. So please sit back and enjoy what promises to be an amazing game. We wish you and your family a happy and safe holiday season, or as we say in Hawaii, mele kalikimaka.
So June Jones forced to burn that timeout to get the right personnel on defensively. 4th and 2 coming up for Nevada. They've been very good this year. Chris Ault's team 11 of 15 on 4th down this year. Keep it on the ground. There goes Ball. Looks for a hole, hit right at the line.
Didn't get it.
Trying to extend there. Not sure he got it.
No, he did not get it.
Pete Fleps came up, tripped him up, undercut him, and he's going to come up short. Sterling Moore, a cornerback who's missed the last 2 because of a leg injury, back in the lineup, also in on the hit.
Yeah, this is great pursuit by SMU on the perimeter, and you've really got to rally to the football against this rushing game for Nevada. And Fleps going low, getting into the legs of Mike Ball. That's a terrific stop by this SMU defense.
Sterling Moore, number 2, you saw him there, and they really were hoping they'd get him back for this one, and he is ready and going. The other number 2, offensively now, set to go. Kyle Padron at that 71-yard pass to set up the touchdown. Has time, steps up, got his man again. Emmanuel Sanders wide open. Dragged down inside the yard line. 2 quick strikes from Padron. This one to Emmanuel Sanders, who has broken nearly every record at SMU.
Yeah, SMU's having some success out of the left slot here early, and this must look pretty familiar to the locals. Wide receivers running free down the football field. Quarterbacks putting the ball on the money. Looks a lot like Colt Brennan and Timmy Chang to me. 2 pretty solid throws from Kyle Padron to open up this football game.
58 yards on the pass from Padron to Sanders. First and goal from the 3, and they've got to burn their second timeout. About the only thing that hasn't gone right for June Jones and SMU so far. Now, just being here, obviously a remarkable accomplishment. Last year 1-11, and now 7-5. And you know, the death penalty back in the 80s, it's the only time that's ever been imposed at the FBS level. And 3-year probation, did not play for 2 seasons. And the second season, it was because they elected not to play. They're all away games they were supposed to play. And since then, 1 winning season until this year.
Yeah, there has not been another team that has faced the so-called death penalty since. And I think a big part of that is the fact that it's just so devastating on a program. I think there's been a couple, violations by programs along the way that might have warranted a death penalty situation, but the NCAA, I think, understands just how devastating it was to SMU. And if there's one guy in college football that could take a program from the depths like an SMU and turn it around, I think it would be June Jones.
You want to name names program-wise?
No.
All right.
Not without my attorney.
All right, I was just wondering. Well, it's the greatest turnaround ever when he took over at Hawaii, winless, and he made them into a 9-4 team the first year. Doing the same here at SMU. First and goal from the 3. McNeil bounces off the 1. Can he get away from the next? No. Brought down for a loss back at the 5, and there is a flag down. Kevin Basped, who led the league in sacks this year on the penetration.
Foul. Face mask. Defense, number 8. After distance to the goal, first down.
Marlon Johnson, the man who's flagged for the face mask.
Well, and Seanbray McNeil has tremendous lateral ability. The jump cuts. And it gives you a little Barry Sanders action with his quickness. And that looks like more the collar of the jersey than the face mask on that one.
And you know what? It was Jonathan Amaya. They said number 8, but Marlon Johnson was not in on that. That was Jonathan Amaya, the senior from Diamond Bar. So it's first and goal, and dancing into the end zone easily is Seanbray McNeil for his second touchdown of the afternoon. Making it look easy. The people who've made their way here from Dallas are loving the start of this one.
Well, and the Mustangs have looked sharp in the pass game, hitting a couple deep balls down the center of the football field. They've also been pretty impressive down on the goal line. Twice McNeil has scored easily.
Szymanski on for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. So the 2 pass plays, one 71 yards, the next one 58 yards, setting up the easy touchdown runs from Seanbray McNeil, and it has been all Mustangs so far in this one.
There's a ton of pepperoni.
That was delivered fast.
It's not delivery, and we'd like it back.
Do you order one too?
Can I have my pizza, please?
You've reached Greg and Doug.
That's not yours.
If you leave your name and number...
Can I have the pizza back, please?
Beep.
New DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings Pepperoni with 50% more awesome pepperoni. For more of what you love, taste, believe. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings.
Don't come down here. We're naked.
I can see you.
Now during the GMC holiday event, get our best offer of the year, 0% APR for 72 months. Or you can get $5,500 total cash back on select 2009 Sierras in stock.
Lady, get out!
Hey, lady. This is no time to play. I'm picking a photo for my one credit card. Old man Sutter? Why would I put his picture on my card? Nice drawing, but this photo's cuter.
Personalize your card by uploading your own photo at CapitalOne.com.
Lady, what's in your wallet?
911, what's your emergency?
The right look should suffice. Stay thirsty, my friends.
To help my patients avoid dental problems, I recommend Act Fluoride Mouthwash.
Act Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend Act Restoring Mouthwash.
To avoid dental problems, act daily.
ESPN College Football, the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl, is brought to you by Sheraton Hotels. Life is better when shared. GMC, we are professional grade. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Nice reward at the end of the year coming to Honolulu. You saw Colin Kaepernick, some of the players from Nevada a couple of days ago at the water park, having much more fun on that day than they are so far today. 14-0 SMU. Minute 31 on the first drive, a minute 5 off the clock on the second drive, and 2 touchdowns. White ball back deep. Very deep. 7 yards deep. Khalid Wooten says keep it right there, take a knee. And they'll put to the 20. And SMU on offense finding something to exploit with that Nevada defense.
Well, what they're doing is they're emptying out in the backfield, and they're getting 5 receivers in the game. And remember, they can get Sean Bray McNeil as a 5th wide receiver. They'll split him out, tailback splitting out wide, and he's one of the better receiving tailbacks that we see in college football. Just a freak as a pass catcher out of the backfield. And Nevada is going with 4 cornerbacks, 4 defensive backs. June Jones has found a way to match up his slot men on linebackers down the field, and he's taken advantage twice on those mismatches.
He also knows he's not going to completely stop this Nevada offense today. They average over 40 points per game, top 5 in the nation. Incomplete. The intended receiver, Chris Wellington, made a break on it. Sterling Moore was there, though. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Nevada, the top rushing attack in the country this year, but as I say, top 5 in points and 2nd in the nation in total offense. Chris Salt would like to throw it a little bit more, though. And maybe today, without Lippincott and Tawa, and especially down 14-0, he'll have to. Brandon Wimberly in motion, they hand it off. Keep it on the ground with Lampford Mark, and a short game's going to bring up 3rd down. Pete Fleps on the stop. Luke Lipp over 1,000 yards this year. Out with toe surgery. Already had it over 3,000 yards in his career. Session and Wellington, the receivers to the far side. 3rd and 6. Kaepernick out of the shotgun. Steps up, run down from behind, dropped at the 21-yard line. Taylor Thompson got him from behind. So it's not only the SMU offense that's been impressive so far.
Well, this is a situation that Nevada hasn't faced much this season. They got behind against Boise State. in the final game of the season. But SMU has taken Nevada out of their comfort zone early, forcing Kaepernick into some passing situations that Nevada usually doesn't face.
Brad Langley on for the punt. The dangerous Emmanuel Sanders back at his 40. This one returnable. Steps up, cross midfield, still up. Finally spins and is hit at the 43-yard line of Nevada. Sanders, the guy who had the long catch just a moment ago, a top 5 return man in the nation in terms of punts. Reminder, Capital One Ball Week continues on Saturday. 3 games coming your way. Little Caesars Bowl, Marshall in Ohio, the Meineke Car Care Bowl just down the road from Chapel Hill, North Carolina and Pittsburgh, and then the Emerald Bowl, BC against number 24 USC. First time since, 2001 that the Trojans have not been in a BCS Bowl.
Pretty strange to see the Trojans not line up after the new year.
First time since Pete Carroll's first year at the helm at USC. The 18-yard return from Sanders, setting it up. 1st and 10 at the 43. Quick out, big strike, complete. At the 37, Aldrich Robinson, third leading receiver on the year. The junior with the catch. Doyle Miller on the coverage.
I talked to Jeff Reinbold, the wide receiver coach for SMU last night, and he told me that June Jones was going to utilize some 5 wide receiver sets, and if Nevada chose to go to man-to-man, they'd have to match up with a linebacker on one of those 5 receivers. And what that does is it makes Nevada think really hard about playing man-to-man, and then they get into zone. That's a much more comfortable situation for a true freshman quarterback when he drops back in the pocket.
McNeil in backfield. Over the Padron guns it low, but it's caught. Aldrich Robinson went down low to get it. And when SMU has the football, our Theraflu impact players starting with the man who's going over 1,000 yards for the season, Chandre McNeil.
June Jones, first 1,000+ yard rusher in his college career. That's saying something. Emmanuel Sanders, 278 career catches. He's going to be a factor on the next level. And then Dante Moak, the player of the year defensively in the WAC.
So now you got that set, a 5-receiver set. McNeil, one of the receivers right now. Over the middle, Sanders couldn't hold on. Throw it a little high and maybe a little hard.
Let's go back to the last big pass play that set up the second touchdown, and let's take a look at how June Jones is getting people open in secondary. This is Sanders right here. He's going to release and get a matchup on Bethea, the middle linebacker. And that is not a matchup. Sanders going to run right by him, and Padron, good timing on the ball, nice accuracy, leads Sanders down the middle of the field.
Yeah, maybe a misnomer calling it a matchup. He's not going to be able to cover him all day. Neal, nice catch just to save it, but that ball was it's almost like a jump shot. A little soft jump shot. Nate Aguiava was all over Kyle Padron, who now talks to June Jones.
And pretty remarkable, Padron coming in for Bo Levi Mitchell. Mitchell going down with a shoulder injury against Houston, and first 3 starts, Padron was 3-0, and the numbers have been pretty exceptional. Over 150 pass efficiency rate.
Padron to throw. One-on-one coverage, man for man, and nice catch. Robinson caught it before going out of bounds, and it'll be 1st and goal again as he beat Doyle Miller.
And this is a back shoulder fade.
Wow.
And that is some kind of catch. It's a fade route, but it's not an over-the-top ball. Aldrich Robinson is expecting that ball on the back shoulder. Ball was a little bit high. Great adjustment to the football by number 24.
You know, if you're a receiver, you're playing for June Jones, you're going to get a chance to showcase your skills. Robinson doing it today. Emmanuel Sanders has done it all year. Chandre McNeil in the backfield, going to get the carry. Runs right into the line of scrimmage and stops behind it for a loss of 1. And it'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Well, McNeil played 2 years at Miami, lining up in the eye, and it was quite a transition to come and get in a shotgun offense, sit on the hip of the quarterback, and take the ball moving laterally before he gets it north and south. And it took him 4 or 5 games this season to really get comfortable in the shotgun running the ball, but he has hit stride in the second half of the season and really jumps off the film when you look at him over the course of the season.
One of those guys, the more you watch him, the more you appreciate his skills. Looks for room, not going to find any, and fights his way back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nevada, I mentioned it, a little bit shorthanded defensively today. Andre Davis, a backup middle linebacker who would be playing quite a bit, was actually involved in a theft on Monday, or at least arrested for theft here in Honolulu and sent home, dismissed from the team. And Duke Williams, strong safety, was suspended on Monday as well for a violation of team rules, and he was sent back home to Reno.
You don't want to lose your nickel back. Duke Williams comes in nickel situations. You don't want to lose your nickel back when you're lining up against the run and shoot and June Jones.
Power runner Zach Line now in for Sean Bray McNeil in the backfield. Padron's going to throw, though, to the corner of the end zone and incomplete. Terrence Wilkerson late to turn around for that one, but it wasn't catchable anyway. So it brings up 4th down. And the Wolfpack fans taking solace in the fact that at least made a nice stop here on a 1st and goal situation. Matt Szymanski on for a little more than an extra point. 22 yards, up and good. So Chris Ault has got to find a way to turn this thing around. 17-0. It's pretty nice for him. 9.5.
Where are we?
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed Too Tall Jones too tall?
I'm just gonna guesstimate.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
It's the best week of the year. Capital One Bowl Week. Boston College battles USC. Saturday at 8 on ESPN. College football lives here.
Between family, friends, and work, there are never enough hours in the day. So how do I find time to stay in shape? With the Bowflex Tread Climber machine. It's like having 3 cardio machines in one, and it burns up to twice the calories. All I have to do is walk.
The Tread Climber machine delivers the aerobic workout of a treadmill, the climbing resistance of a stair stepper, and the low-impact movement of an elliptical all at the same time. The result is a low-impact, calorie-blasting workout. Simply put, the Tread Climber machine's 3-in-1 technology delivers more results with less effort in less time. The Tread Climber burns up to 2 times more calories than a treadmill without ever going faster than a brisk walk. You can get firmer thighs, tighter glutes, and a stronger core in just 6 weeks, guaranteed, or your money back. Call or go online now for our special holiday offer. Request your free DVD and find out how you can save $500. This special holiday pricing, including free shipping, won't last long, so act now.
June Jones got to love his trip so far back to the island. Used to have a Harley here that he would ride up to the North Shore the day after game day. Now he's got one in Dallas, but he actually sold the one here for charity when he left. Mike Ball is going to watch this one sail in and out of the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. We were talking about the Trojans, USC. Wonder what's going on with Joe McKnight as we send it back to Dari Noka in the studio.
Well, guys, good news here on SportsCenter right now for USC as he's been cleared to practice with the team, but has not yet been cleared to play for USC at Saturday's Emerald Bowl against Boston College. The school continues to investigate McKnight's use of an SUV he does not own. Longtime sportscaster George Michael died this morning from complications of leukemia, according to his daughter. George Michael was 70 years old. Next SportsCenter coming up on ESPN 2 at 11 Eastern, guys.
Dari, sad news. Sports machine. Yeah. Nevada trying to get something going on offense. There's a late flag that comes in as Kaepernick keeps it and gets it up to the 25-yard line.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So the problems continue for the Wolfpack. How about Joe McKnight in that situation at USC?
Well, Dari Noka mentioned that it was good news. I'm not sure that's good news for Boston College.
Yeah, right.
That's bad news for Boston College. But no, it is good to see him back on the field and practicing. Rod Gilmore was on College Football Live earlier today. He was at practice. He's going to be covering that football game with Joe Tessitore, and apparently didn't take a lot of reps. But you know, USC's been struggling. They need all the offense they can get going into that Emerald Bowl.
And how motivated will they be after being in BCS Bowl, after BCS Bowl? Kaepernick, the keeper, up to the 17, maybe the 16, stopped there. And Chase Kennemer brought him down there. This offense right now, in slow motion, it seems. Is it SMU's defense, their scheme, or is it just the fact that they haven't gotten it going yet?
Well, I think that the defense for SMU has played things well along the line of scrimmage early in this football game, and it always helps when you jump out to a 2-touchdown-plus lead early.
And if you're an offense built around the run, and now you're down 17-0 early, you've got to pass it at some point. And that's what they're going to do. Contact at the 30 and no call. Brandon Wimberly ran right into Chase Kennemer, he's got a right to that ground, to that position. Take a look.
This was solid coverage down the field, and nice job by Kennemer walling him off there.
Yeah, but did you see him go to his helmet right away? He thought he was going to get flagged.
Well, I'm not sure that Kennemer didn't have a right to that ground, as you were talking about, Terry, and pretty good coverage across the board in the secondary for SMU.
So it's 3rd and 14. If you're Nevada, you don't want to be in these situations at all. Kaepernick escapes once, not the second time. Margus Hunt, the big, and I do mean big, defensive end in there for the sack. A redshirt freshman from Estonia who was a junior Olympic champ in the discus and the shot put and is now playing football.
Well, the big key coming into this game was, could SMU protect their young quarterback, Kyle Padron? And now all of a sudden, I think that the storylines have changed. It looks like Nevada, the team that's having trouble protecting their quarterback, and they are not having a lot of success on the ground early.
Emmanuel Sanders back at midfield awaiting the punt of Brad Langley. This is a good one. Really good. Sanders barely able to get up with it. Going the wrong way. Gets a block to spring him, then hit hard. Out of bounds inside the 25. Well, Sanders probably ran about 75 yards on that. Tallahassee Paroka, the man who hit him hard at the end. Watch.
I mean, you talk about squaring up a punt returner.
Tallahassee Puloka Jr., the senior from Reno, and a backup tight end. 59 yards on the punt.
I don't think Puloka was real intent on wrapping him up on that play.
Get the chin strap. The chin strap actually knocked loose. Maybe. Got it back on, though. Sanders had a big day already. 1st and 10 just outside the 25. Haven't stopped this offense yet. He'll swing out of the backfield to McNeil. Chandre, a burst of speed, brings it out to the 40, and they'll move the chains again, which is getting redundant.
24 receptions on the year for McNeil. And June Jones told us about McNeil, one of the best receiving backs he's had, both at the college and the pro level. And you can see just how smooth he is as an athlete. Soft hands and a pretty nice ball from Padron.
Well, how great was that news that they got just before the season that McNeil would be cleared to play by the NCAA after the transfer, not sitting out a year because of extenuating personal circumstances. His mother was sick. He's from Dallas, wanted to be back home near her, and now she's doing okay. Actually came to a game for the first time earlier today. McNeil wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Khalid Wooten, the redshirt freshman, making a nice stop, and that'll do it here in the first. It's been all June Jones and his homecoming back here in Hawaii. Take us out, Elvis.
ESPN Monday Night Football, Vikings Bears at 8:30.
Now during the GMC holiday event, get our best offer of the year, 0% APR for 72 months. Or you can get $5,500 total cash back on select 2009 Sierras in stock.
They say the war tore a hole in the sky. That was 30 winters ago. I've been walking ever since. Put that hand on me again, you won't get it back.
I made that book. I know its power.
Nobody touches it but me.
It's not a book. It's a weapon.
The Book of Eli. Rated R. Starts January 15th.
Bet you're one of those multitaskers who wishes you could talk on the phone and surf the web at the same time. AT&T's 3G network lets you do that. Verizon's doesn't. Actually, you can talk on the phone and surf the web with Verizon, but you just need two phones to do it.
Yep, I can.
Can I give you a hand?
Thank you. Hello? Yeah. I'm still waiting for it to download.
When you compare, there's no comparison.
Yeah, I'm gonna type it in again.
AT&T, a better 3G experience.
This holiday, get 50% off all BlackBerry smartphones after mail-in rebate.
Hi, is Denise working?
Yeah, she's in the back. Can I take your order?
I'm just a little bit more comfortable ordering with Denise. Hey, hi. You remember me? I came by yesterday and gave me that 5-layer burrito. That new one for
89 cents.
Is that cool? Is that still cool?
It's an inside deal for everyone. Layers of seasoned beef, cheddar cheese, and a hidden layer of nacho cheese sauce. It's Taco Bell's new beefy 5-layer burrito for just 89 cents. Why pay more?
Look, I don't want to work forever.
And we need to figure this out now. Our nest egg took a real hit.
What's that website your friend mentioned?
RetirementRedZone.com?
That's it, from Prudential.
Yeah, she talked to her financial advisor about what she learned there. Said it really helped her get back on track.
Oh, I like that.
Help get your plan back on track. Watch our educational video at retirementredzone.com, the site for the critical years before and after retirement.
Maybe I can retire after all.
Now you're talking.
Click retirementredzone.com, then talk to your financial professional.
Conquered the skies. Conquered Mount Everest. Conquered the neck. Philips Norelco Architect. Designed with a flexible head, which allows it to pivot and rotate freely. So you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck. Tackle all your shaving and grooming needs and play to win the ultimate football weekend at Miami 2010. Check out the details at NorelcoMVP.com.
SMU, Nevada, Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, the 8th edition, 17-0 SMU. Chris Ault, for 25 years, over the course of a quarter of a century, has been the head coach, his third term, and 6th on the all-time active win list. He's got his team. They've come back 5 times this year. 2 of those times, they were down 14-0. So it's a situation where they have to do it again here in the bowl game. Padron looking for space to run in. That's outside. Has some room. And run out at the 48-yard line. So if you are Chris Ault, what adjustments do you have to make right now?
Well, I think Nevada has to start playing better on first down offensively. It's a team that lives on getting big chunks and easy second down situations. And then we take a look at Kyle Padron. If you're going to play quarterback for June Jones in this run and shoot system, you got to be able to move around, and you got to be able to help your offensive line from time to time, both with your pocket movement and pulling the football down. And I think we all remember Colt Brennan and the way that he moved around effortlessly behind the line of scrimmage.
There's that 5-receiver set on 3rd and 4, looking to exploit a mismatch. Padron goes down in the backfield. Kevin Basped, who led the WAC in sacks, at 8 sacks on the year, gets another one now. And the punt team will come on.
Basped just overpowers the left guard, Josh Laribas. And he takes both Laribas and Padron on the play.
First punt of the day. They had 3 possessions prior to this and 3 scores. Szymanski on for the punt. Antoine Thompson is back, and Isaiah Fry swarmed under right at the 10-yard line. Good coverage, good hit. Tough spot again for the Nevada offense as they take over early in the second quarter, and we send it once again back to the studio to check in with Dari Noka.
All right, guys, I'm Dari Noka with this bowl update brought to you by Flomax, and we start with this bowl update brought to you by Flomax with the New Mexico Bowl. How about what the Mountain West has done so far? It's Wyoming taking on Fresno State. Double overtime. Austin Carter-Samuels, the freshman, to David Leonard for the touchdown. Cowboys win the bowl game. Mako Bowl, Las Vegas, BYU, Oregon State. Cougars up 23-7. Max Hall to brother-in-law Dennis Pitt. Cougars beat a Pac-10 team. How about a Mountain West team beating a Pac-10 team again? How about Utah knocking off Cal in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl? Utah's won 9 straight bowl games.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January. Special lease offers now available on the 2010 ES350.
27 consecutive bowls.
12 conference titles.
And 2 T-bones.
My man. Hot Bobby. Oh, Hot Bobby.
The more you save on insurance, the more you'll have for football. Are you in good hands?
Go. Go.
When the flu hits you hard, hit right back with Theraflu. Nothing fights your worst flu symptoms with more power. Theraflu. Good to be back.
Hey, cheers.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 4th. Special lease offers now available on the 2010 RX 350.
To help avoid cavities and root canals, I use ACT, the fluoride mouthwash dentists recommend.
ACT Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend ACT Restoring mouthwash.
To help avoid dental problems, ACT Daily.
NFL Network presents a special Christmas edition of Thursday Night Football. The run to the playoffs. Hawai'i showdown. Philip Rivers has the Bulls to storm into the postseason when they battle Chris Johnson, Vince Young, and Red Hot Tennessee.
Every play matters. Keep this stuff up.
Chargers. Titans. Spend your holidays with us. Christmas night at 7 on NFL Network.
To help my patients avoid dental problems, I recommend ACT Fluoride Mouthwash.
ACT Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend ACT Restoring mouthwash.
To avoid dental problems, ACT Daily.
Good look at Molokai by Lanai and Maui. We're on Oahu, of course, here in Honolulu, the 8th edition of the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl. And Nevada down 17-0. Terry Gannon, David Norrie. Wolfpack keeping it on the ground, which they like to do. Tough yards, ahead for about 3. You know, you got the update in the studio a moment ago. Craig Thompson's got to be throwing a party at this point in the Mountain West.
Yeah, well, we did that New Mexico Bowl last week, and of course Wyoming, what a double overtime win in that game against Fresno State. He was sky high sitting next to us on the plane out of Albuquerque, and he must be walking on air right now after the way that BYU and Utah treated the Pac-10 the last couple nights.
What's up with the Pac-10 right now?
Well, one of the better leagues in college football, I think, right up there with the SEC, but they are not playing well in the early bowl season.
Kaepernick, sleight of hand. Nice fake, gets the outside around the edge, close to a first down, but maybe just short of it. You know, you get an example of why he was their second leading rusher on the season, one of the top in the country. Chris Salt, the little general, 5 straight trips to bowl games, but they've lost their last 3. Trying to turn that around. It's been one of the major sources of inspiration this week. Their last first down was at the 11-minute mark, by the way, of the first quarter. 0 for 3 on third down. 3rd and 1. Kaepernick's going to throw. Looking to the sidelines, got his man. Brandon Limberly on the catch. And they will move the chains.
Now we finally get a look at what Colin Kaepernick can do on the move, and that was a nice ball on the move to his left. And Wimberly is really the featured wide receiver. This group on the perimeter for Nevada. And a welcome move of the chains for Chris Ault.
Wimberly, 46 catches on the year, 5 for touchdowns, and the conference freshman of the year. Courtney Randall on the carry, junior for California, who averages almost 8 yards per carry. Look at their average. I mean, it's amazing overall. Kaepernick and Mike Ball, who averages over 10 yards a carry.
As a team, 7.5 yards per carry and over 362 yards per game, tops in college football. We'll look at Luke Lippincott on the sideline.
Mark coming this way, delivers the hit as he goes out of bounds up at the 45. So they move the chains again. You start to get an idea of this offense now as it moves a couple of times, and it's been a while in this one.
Mark and Ball give you an injection of speed, but you still lose a lot without Lippincott and Tawa. And Lippincott and Tawa combined this year for 210 yards per game. And you talk about losing some production.
And Lippincott over 3,000 yards in his career, and Tawa almost 3,000 yards. Mark ahead for 2 along the left side. Chase Kennemer on the stop.
And these are 2 tailbacks that have both led the WAC in rushing. Lippincott back in 2007, and Tawa. You know, when you look at Tawa running football, I'm not sure there's a that hits the ball quicker and with more urgency between the tackles than Tawa. Not a big speed guy, maybe about a 4.55, 4.6 guy, but he splits it so quickly that he's always a threat on the big runs.
And as comes on the blitz, Kaepernick sidesteps him, throws on the run. Wimberly high into the air and incomplete. Sterling Moore on the coverage.
It's nice for SMU to have Sterling Moore back. A pretty serious injury in the UTEP game. A knee injury, and I'm really surprised he's back. But watch the way he gets his eyes back to the quarterback. It's a pretty nice throw from Kaepernick. Taking a shot down the field. Trying to lay the ball on Wimberly, and Moore did a great job of getting his eyes back to the football and making a play.
So it brings up 3rd and 8 for Kaepernick in the Wolfpack offense. And he'll burn a timeout, come to the sideline and talk to Chris Ault. That's their first here in the first half. So come back and it'll be 3rd and 8. All season long, David Norrie's been taking us on his musical journey in the cities or college towns, taking a look at a musician, a band making an impact in that town. We go out in style here in Honolulu in just a moment.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 4th. Special lease offers now available on the 2010 IS250.
They're running the Men's Room Marathon.
With lots of guys going over and over.
And here's the dash to the men's room with lots of guys going urgently.
And then there's the night game.
Waking up to go.
These guys should be in a race to see their doctors.
Right. Those could be urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
But for many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
When taking Flomax, avoid driving or hazardous tasks until you know how Flomax will affect you, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
Tell your doctor about all medications you take. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax.
Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
Call 877-4-FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 4th. Special lease offers now available on the 2010 ES350.
This year's journey ends in Hawaii with the king himself, Elvis Presley. From the time he first arrived in 1957 through the end of his unprecedented career, Elvis shared a love affair with the islands. Through his personal visits, his concerts, and his feature films. The highlight would take place on January 14th, 1973. Aloha from Hawaii was the first musical performance ever transmitted live via satellite. It was beamed across the world to more than 1 billion viewers. More viewers than the Apollo 11 landing on the moon. And while it's been more than 35 years since that landmark event right here in Honolulu, Aloha from Hawaii remains the most watched broadcast by an entertainer in television history.
Cue the rainbow. There it is, live. The spirit of Elvis, perhaps. You kind of looked, if you had some sideburns, you kind of had that Elvis look with Diamond Head in the background, Mr. Norrie.
We had a lot of fun with that piece. You know, Terry, that was not viewed in the United States, and it still went to 1 billion viewers, and we'll talk about why here in a play or two.
3rd and 8 coming up as they disrupt the journey. How rude. Big play, though, for the Wolfpack offensively to try to continue this drive. They have not been able to put anything together. Kaepernick as they blitz. Quick throw, almost picked off. Incomplete. Wimberly was there, but Sterling Moore had the best shot at it. And it brings up 4th and 8. Now, why was it not shown in the U.S.?
It was Super Bowl Sunday. The Dolphins and the Redskins. The Dolphins were putting their finishing touches on their perfect season, 17-0. And so the Aloha from Hawaii was not broadcast until April on tape to the United States.
Suspicious Minds from that performance. That's got to be classic. That's
Suspicious Minds was on the set list.
Langley's punt. Sanders, this one's very short. Comes up, he's thinking about it. Now he takes it. Up at the 24, he was going to let it go, and it took a Nevada bounce. Well, here is the journey. A look back. We started with, appropriately enough, Journey in the Bay Area.
You recognize any of these bands and performers?
Hey, Joe, week 3, my favorite. Up in Seattle.
Neil Young, the Brit School concert. Further Bus was a lot of fun up at Oregon. Went into London Bridge Studios to see where Pearl Jam recorded their first album, 10. And I kind of like the Jack Johnson piece up on the North Shore from the Pipeline. John Denver last Saturday from New Mexico.
Well done, Mr. Norton. The journey comes to a close today in Honolulu.
We had a great time.
Padron throws. McNeil out of the backfield. Look at that burst to the outside. Just short of a first down. Still going along the sideline.
And we had some people help us along the way on the journey. A lot of additional work on days before games. Vic Thomas, audio. James Christopher on camera. And then Alicia Herzog did a terrific job. Mike Stivers, our technical director. Big B, Brian Coffer, the stage manager. And Robert Bubba Slosby, our producer. Bubba, great job.
Nice job introducing the band, Elvis.
I love you, Scylla.
2nd and 1. Padron out of the gun. Zach Line in at tailback now. Quick throw, near sideline. Robinson with the catch and run out at the 45. This offense continues to click. You had the 2 quick strikes early, and then, you know, David, as a defense, you're back on your heels at that point.
Well, in Nevada on defense, their job was to get Padron uncomfortable in the pocket. And you look at June Jones and you look at his true freshmen, and they look anything but uncomfortable at this point. I mean, how many times you see June Jones just walking very calmly, almost clinical on the sidelines, and Padron is in rhythm.
No shock to see this offense click, and Nevada's pass defense has not been all that impressive this year. Padron out of the pocket. Somehow Robinson with the catch, it just stuck to his right arm, and a short gain up at the 48. He drilled it. He was only about 3 yards away from it.
And that was a nice play, one-handed play by Robinson. Look at that. Ball thrown behind him. Dangerous pass. Possible deflection. And Robinson makes a one-handed catch.
Robinson, probably the fastest guy on the team. State champ in the 100 meters. Of course, they have 4 of them on this team. And Padron, some impressive numbers so far. 11 of 32. That's time. Throws deep. Robinson over the middle, and he can't connect. And he had a step on Mo Harvey. Padron would love to get that one back.
A great passing offenses always have receivers running deep, always getting through the secondary and threatening a defense vertically. And what that does, and June knows this, June Jones knows this very well from his times playing quarterback all the way through his career as a head coach. It doesn't allow a defense to lean on you on offense, and it keeps the secondary playing up near the line of scrimmage. SMU doing a nice job of running receivers deep.
5 receivers on 3rd and 7. He has his pick. He has his man. He has a first down. Cole Beasley who had that long 71-yard catch to set up the first touchdown. They'll move the chains.
June Jones has always done a good job of converting players to wide receivers, good athletes. Cole Beasley, a former high school quarterback. Look at Terrence Wilkerson, another wideout on this team. He played quarterback in high school. And Terry, we remember Hawaii, guys like Devon Bess and Ryan Grice Mullen. A couple very successful slot guys that played other positions before June Jones moved them to wideout.
Making you think right now that 2007, 2018, Cole Brennan and all those targets. Neal can't get away from the tackler. Isaiah Fry made a nice stop.
Well, 2007 was the perfect regular season, 12-0, and when June Jones took his Hawaii team down to the Sugar Bowl, they lost pretty convincingly to Georgia, but a season the likes that have never been seen here in Hawaii. People forget about the season before, Terry. Colt Brennan as a junior, the most successful season statistically for a quarterback in the history of NCAA football. And you got to give that guy a lot of credit for Colt Brennan's performance throughout his career.
And Kyle Padron, in terms of passing efficiency, maybe not in that category, but pretty darn impressive as a freshman taking over. Hit as he throws, threw it up for grabs, and it should have been picked off. Jonathan Amaya had it and just saw it go right through his hands.
Well, this was almost a turnover down the field, almost an interception. It was pretty close to a shot in the back and a fumble. Padron very lucky to get that ball off. Kalen Burnett coming free off the edge on the right side.
Burnett, whose brother starts for the Chargers.
Kevin.
And they expect him to be a star for this Nevada defense. 3rd and 9. McNeil will shovel pass to him. Schoenbrink shaking, dancing, has a first down, brought down inside the 20. James Michael Johnson ran him down from behind.
Well, and this is a shovel pass in tight quarters. It looks like McNeil is hemmed in. That's a nice play by Padron to put it on his back shoulder, and then the finish on the run was pretty convincing by McNeil. Pretty physical back for a smaller back.
And a gain of 15 again, this time on 3rd and 9. The prior situation was 3rd and 7. They picked up 15. So it's 1st and 10. McNeil knifes his way through for a gain of about 2.
You hear so much over the years about the run and shoot and the 45, 50 attempts per game. Of course, Mouse Davis, the architect, the pioneer. He coached June Jones at Portland State. Mouse Davis developed that offense back in the late 60s, early 70s. And, you know, it's a real misnomer, Terry. Running has always been a big part of this offense, and it's been mainly the draw play and the trap play. We talked about the big junior senior seasons for Colt Brennan. A couple very productive backs in the backfield at Hawaii in those 2 years.
June Jones quick to give the credit to Mouse Davis for creating that. Sanders the catch, beats one, sidesteps another, brought down in the end zone. Touchdown. SMU fans loving it. Hawaii fans apparently loving it. Cheering for June Jones in his homecoming.
Well, this is a nice job. A quarterback in the run and shoot has to put the ball on receivers to give them opportunities to get the ball upfield. That was a perfect front pocket throw by Padron. And a nice job by Sanders to do the rest.
Matt Szymanski from College Station, Texas on for another extra point. First time in a quarter century the Mustangs are in a bowl game. I guess they've been waiting for this one for a while.
We wish you were meant to be.
Capital One Bowl Week continues through January 2nd.
Telcom Yellow Pages. Find it easy, find it here.
A Monday night battle from the black and blue division, Coach. It's time to pound a rock.
Intense NFC North rivals meet for a Monday night slugfest. Brett Favre and the Vikings are fighting for prime playoff position. But Jay Cutler and the Bears will be on the prowl for an upset. Can the division champs get back on track, or will Chicago bear down for a Windy City win?
ESPN Monday Night Football, Vikings-Bears at 8:30.
To help avoid cavities and root canals, I use ACT, the fluoride mouthwash dentists recommend.
ACT Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend ACT Restoring mouthwash.
To help avoid dental problems, ACT Daily.
NFL Network presents a special Christmas edition of Thursday Night Football. The run to the playoffs ignites a holiday showdown. Philip Rivers has the Bulls poised to storm into the postseason when they battle Chris Johnson, Vince Young, and Red Hot Tennessee.
Every play matters. Keep this stuff up.
Chargers, Titans, Spend your holidays with us. Christmas night at 7 on NFL Network.
To help my patients avoid dental problems, I recommend Act Fluoride Mouthwash.
Act Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend Act Restoring Mouthwash.
To avoid dental problems, act daily.
ESPN College Football, the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, is brought to you by the Islands of Hawaii. The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 4th at your Lexus dealer. And Allstate, proud sponsor of college football and the Allstate Sugar Bowl. Are you in good hands?
Yeah, the teams a couple of nights ago, part of a luau at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel right there on Waikiki. Showing off their skills up on stage. And Ken Wilson, who was serving as the defensive coordinator for Nevada. Nigel Burton took the head job at Portland State. But it's time to make a couple of adjustments for Ken Wilson, trying to figure things out. Not much of a return from Mike Ball just across the 15-yard line, David.
Well, and we talked to June Jones, and we also talked to Jeff Reinbold, the wide receiver coach, and they felt like they could make some hay taking advantage of that transition. And they're showing some new wrinkles. They're getting 5 wide receivers in the games. They're taking advantage of some mismatches against linebackers. But really, I think that the biggest factor has been Ken Wilson's defense has not been able to create pressure on Padron. And when a quarterback is comfortable in the run and shoot and he's throwing the ball accurately, there are not a lot of adjustments that you can make beyond getting a pass rush revved up.
Lamford Mark carries it across the 20, but the offense hasn't exactly held its own either for Nevada. And again, not to dwell on it, but now you know you're a team that's built around the run, and you're down 24-0. You
know, you're built around possessing the football. You're built around controlling things at the line of scrimmage. You're not built around 24-point deficits, and this is not a team that comes from behind very well.
Mark the carry up to the 25, about 2 yards shy of a first down. So it brings up 3rd and 2. Capital One Bowl week rolling on Sunday night. Kentucky taking on Clemson. C.J. Spiller, ACC Player of the Year, and a good one. If you haven't seen much of him this year, how could you not have if you're a college football fan? Part of the show. Gaylord Hotel's Music City Bowl. SEC taking on the ACC.
C.J. Spiller along with Javid Best were the 2 most exciting open field runners in the game.
3rd and 2. We're going to throw it. Rolling Kaepernick. Looking. Throwing back and incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. Talaase Puloka, the intended receiver, the tight end. And again, the offense heads to the sidelines.
Well, SMU is winning the battle on 1st and 2nd down. And if Nevada doesn't start creating some things with their pistol offense, SMU has done a great job of taking the ball out of Colin Kaepernick's hands and putting the game in the hands of the 2 young backs.
Sanders back at his own 30. Langley, a high snap. He goes up to get that. It's a 59-yarder. A couple of punts ago. A short one again this time. So the last one was short. This one goes sideways out of bounds. Good field position for the SMU offense.
I said, how'd you like the show? She said I was very amused. I started throwing bass, she started throwing back mid-range. But when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. I called her room, I got picked up again. I called her in, I said, yo, who is that? Oh, he's just a friend. Don't give me that. Don't even give me that. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 4th. Special lease offers now available on the 2010 RX 350.
Has anybody ever had skunky beer? Clear and green bottles let in light, which can turn traditionally brewed beers skunky. Brown bottles protect better.
Every Samuel Adams comes in a brown bottle, and we use tire 6-packs to protect it from the light. We put so much care into brewing the beer that we want to protect it.
To help my patients avoid dental problems, I recommend Act Fluoride Mouthwash.
Act Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend Act Restoring Mouthwash.
To avoid dental problems, act daily.
When fire or water damage strikes your business, call the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVPRO, like it never even happened.
Man, that looks
unbelievable. I've been wanting one of these
Since when could mountains float? Celebrate a burger like no other with a movie like no other. Bite into Avatar with the one and only taste of McDonald's Big Mac.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event, now through January 4th. Special lease offers now available on the 2010 IS250.
Something to cheer about if you're cheering for SMU. 24-0 over Nevada. A shocker right now.
Yeah, it's pretty startling. 24-0. I don't think people would be surprised if it was the other way around. And how about Padrone's day?
Going to throw again. Near sideline. Connects again. Robinson again. Out of bounds. Inside Nevada territory at the 47. Nearly perfect today. Kyle Padrone, the freshman.
Yeah, he has been sensational, and he's on pace to break some records in this game, a game that has seen a lot of offense over the years. 16 for 20. He's already over the 250-yard mark, and he doesn't even look like he's broken a sweat yet.
It really doesn't. They've made it look easy. It's at his pick of receivers. Missed one, which may have been a touchdown to Robinson. Had him open deep. It's 1st and 10 again. No pressure on him at all. Throws. Sanders caught. Hit hard. Holds on. At the 30-yard line, Emmanuel Sanders. Good hands, and he hauled it in. Took the hit from Mo Harvey.
Well, this is arm talent. And it's going to be a corner route over the top of the cornerback and underneath the safety, and watch the adjustment by the ball. On the ball by Sanders, and he takes a big-time lick. But Padrone, I mean, he put that ball there with some velocity. He got the ball on number 17 in a hurry. What a game thus far by this true freshman.
And Sanders having a big day as well. Man, who had 91 catches on the year. Padrone just flips it out up to the first row. That came sidearm. Yeah, Kevin Baspet had a hold of him.
Yeah, but that's a strong play, and that's a heck of a play by Padrone. It wasn't pretty.
He didn't get outside the pocket, though. The tackle, they're going to throw the flag.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 2. The down will be counted despite the foul. 2nd down.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure he didn't get outside the tackle box on that play. I mean, it looked like he escaped to his right. The ball was on the hash. And yeah, because the football was snapped on the hash there, I don't think he quite got outside the tackle box, but still a pretty heady play by Kyle Padrone. I mean, that's very close to getting outside the box there, and he did get the throw, if you can call it a throw, beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that last look was a good angle. Didn't quite get outside the box, so it's 2nd and 19 now. Sean Bray McNeil, patient, bounces outside, got a block inside the 30 to the 27. And, you know, you talked about it. I mean, the more you watch this guy on tape, you realize, because the run and shoot, even though there is run along with the run and shoot, it's kind of known as a receiver offense and all the adjustments the receivers make. I mean, he's had over 1,000 yards for a reason.
And June Jones gets you thinking pass, and he gets you spread out in the secondary, and then he drops a draw play or one of those wide running plays. From time to time they'll run a lead or a zone play, and then you got a guy with the talent of a Sean Bray McNeil who can stop and start. He's got the lateral ability.
Zach Line in for him now, more physical back. Another completion near sideline at the 20. Aldrick Robinson.
Now the Wolfpack better find a way to create some pressure on Kyle Padron, or this is going to turn into a long afternoon. And it's already been a long first half for the Wolfpack. This is a stunner.
It was just shy of that first down marker, so they will go for it on 4th and 1.
And you get the feel that this SMU offense is doing just about whatever they want on offense. And why not go for it here on 4th down?
Zach Line, their short yardage back, is in there. 6'1", 238 pounds. So Padron's going to throw. Quick drop, quick throw, wide open for the catch and a first down is Terrence Wilkerson. I mean, that wasn't even a drill.
Well, you can tell that Padron's been schooled at the quarterback position. His feet are perfect. And watch, he gets the right foot set, the ball comes out on time, and you don't throw out routes much better than he did on that ball. That was nice work between quarterback and wide receiver, and the offensive line for SMU is keeping Padron clean in the pocket.
June Jones's offense has had 21 plays inside Nevada territory, and the Wolfpack only 4 plays run from scrimmage on the SMU side of the football field. So June Jones will call a timeout, and with 1:41 left until the break, and yet another opportunity to put more points on the board. Even all of those who came from Dallas here to watch this for the first time in 25 years, I don't think any of them expected to see that. What do you make of this, and what Nevada? I mean, Nevada won 8 games in a row until that last game against Boise State.
Well, I think June Jones did a great job of hitting those balls early. You know, he went with 5 wide receivers. He created some matchup problems against linebackers with the 5th wide receiver, and he's buttoned Nevada down in zone coverage. You know, Nevada has not wanted to go to man-to-man since those 2 big plays put SMU up 14-0 early in the first quarter. And now Padron's working against zone coverage in the secondary, and he's comfortable. He's getting great work from his offensive line up front. They're keeping him clean. They're giving him plenty of time to survey things. And when a quarterback for June Jones throws the ball with this kind of accuracy, it can look this easy.
All right, that all makes sense, but they're being shut out. This is a team that averaged over 40 points per game, and I'm not sure how to explain that.
Well, you've got to give SMU's defense a huge portion of the credit. And this is the top running attack. Nevada's offense is the top rushing attack in the country. Over 362 yards a game.
1st and 10 from the 11, so they can get a first down. Sanders just dropped it, and there was no one within 10 yards of him. And he can't believe it.
Well, I think Padron can't believe it either. That was pitch and catch. And I think Padron can afford to take a little bit off this football. And that was actually a nice throw. That was a nice ball, and not a great adjustment to the football by Sanders. That should have been a touchdown.
#1 guy in terms of active receivers in touchdown receptions and yards. National.
Well, he's turned into a great leader for this team. A guy that was questionable at times last year, suspended for the last 2 games. I thought it was a master stroke by June Jones to suspend him for those final 2 games, and he has really responded this year.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Yeah, they tried to burn a timeout, couldn't do it because they're out. You saw Padron thinking timeout, do we have enough, but they get the delay of game.
June Jones talking to his young quarterback, and I'm sure he's telling him, you have got to find that play clock when you break the huddle. And everything that you're doing at the line of scrimmage in terms of game management is in perspective of where that clock is. Can't afford to take 5-yarders in the red zone.
As the first thing you do when you
absolutely, it's just distinctive. It's the first thing you do when you break the huddle.
2nd and 15. Padron to the outside and hit and driven out of bounds just outside the 11. Mike Bethea, the junior from Carlsbad, California. Little Caesars Bowl, Marshall, Ohio. Pittsburgh taking on North Carolina, the Meineke Car Care Bowl, and then the Emerald Bowl in the Bay Area. Boston College against number 24 USC, all part of Capital One Bowl Week, which rolls on. 3 games coming your way on Saturday and clouds rolling. Is that allowed in Honolulu?
Not in the last 4 or 5 days. It hasn't been allowed.
Just for a rainbow.
It has been beautiful. I tell you this every day, Terry. I don't want to go home. I might not.
3rd and 10. To the end zone. Sanders, and a flag as he tries to make a play on the ball, and Mo Harvey did not. Harvey with his back to the ball and never made a play.
No, and Harvey had his hands full man-to-man side on Sanders.
Pass interference. Defense, number 25. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
SMU's doing a great job of creating some matchups and getting wide receivers open in the secondary. And you can see there Harvey not getting his eyes back to the football. And the moment he makes contact, whether he's got his hands up in the air or not, he's going to go against the blue jersey.
For the 4th time in the game, SMU with a 1st and goal. And got a couple of touchdowns and a field goal out of the previous 3 trips. Drone, plenty of time. Tips and incomplete. Mike Bethea high into the air to get a piece of that.
Well, I used to walk down the hill. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and I used to walk down the hill and watch Mouse Davis coach June Jones. June Jones would be playing quarterback at Civic Stadium in Portland, Oregon, and then Neil Lomax followed June Jones. And I remember them just making it look easy, effortless in the pocket, and never facing a lot of pressure. You know, their offense spreading the defense out, and that's what we're seeing in this game. Padron, even though he forced the ball in that last play, he just is having all the time in the world to count the house.
2nd and goal under center. Play action. Rolling. He can run if he wants. No, he's going to throw it. Makes a good decision. Touchdown, SMU. Cole Beasley with the catch. And even the SMU fans kind of blasé about it in the stands. They're like, oh, opera clap. Oh, no, now they go. It's been that type of game, though. They come to expect it.
Well, you get an idea of the athleticism of Padron. I mean, he's just going to put it on the defensive player there and force his hand. Is he going to come off of Beasley, or is he going to take Padron and drops it off to a slot man? 31.
There was
Nothing.
no play. The previous play is under further review.
Pending an extra point and pending the review. This is one of the more shocking scores I've seen in the first half of a bowl game in maybe a decade or two.
So they're taking a look at that left foot. No, he's in. And the play should stand.
Well, and also there's a question of whether he stepped out of bounds before he came back in to make the catch.
That's what I said, the left foot, but it looked, to me at least, like he kept it in. Right there is where he would have stepped out, and that.
Yeah, and on the catch, it appeared that he did have his foot in, but prior, when he was working the sideline, you know, right here before the ball arrives, did he step out of bounds? Before he got that left foot reestablished inside the sideline in the end zone.
Nothing that we have seen is indisputable and would reverse the call. And that official, normally the hat comes out and makes a mark when he steps out, and he did not do it.
Yeah, the official was all over the call. Good position. I mean, this has been an absolute clinic by SMU on offense. And I have to be honest, Terry, this isn't the first time we've seen this from a June Jones team.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So we will now see the extra point. And Matt Szymanski trying to make it 31-0. Yeah, you're right in what you say, but I don't know many who expected anything close to this today. So it is 31-0. on Christmas Eve in Honolulu. June Jones and the SMU Mustangs. The freshman quarterback leading the way.
Unbridled means the commitment to shape bright minds from around the world.
The conviction to take on complex issues.
And to ask, what if?
New ideas emerging from classic disciplines.
Pride and spirit.
Pulsing through a vibrant campus.
Unbridled means a great university rising higher.
A birthplace for tomorrow's leaders.
A beacon to the world, shining from the Southwest.
Unbridled means
a century of confidence.
As we stand on the cusp of greatness.
And leap.
When choosing a college, I wanted a university where I could savor each moment. A place that would challenge my mind. A place where I could get my hands dirty. A place where I could mix academics and adrenaline. A place quiet enough to hear myself think, and big enough to handle my ambition. That's when I discovered Nevada.
You know, a moment ago, we had a shot of the SMU fans who were not reacting all that vociferously to the touchdown catch. And I said, maybe a little blasé. After 25 years, what am I, kidding me? I mean, that's
you're kidding you?
I'm kidding me. What, are you kidding me? I mean, June Jones bringing this program back. A lot of people. He said it. He said the biggest thing was, I saw tears in the eyes of old men. And we accepted that bid. Mike Ball bringing it back out to the 35. Good return just before the break as we send it back to the studio once again to Darinoka.
All right, guys, coming up on the Cars.com halftime report. You know, it was 5 years after SMU's last bowl game that Andre Ware won the Heisman. Wait till you hear Heisman's spin on a Christmas classic. Also, the very latest concerning USC's Joe McKnight and possible eligibility for Saturday's Emerald Bowl. And the catches of the year. We've seen some pretty good ones tonight, but wait till you see the catches of the year. Trevor Maddich joins me at the half, guys.
Plays at 10. Darcy in just a few moments. Colin Kaepernick trying to get something going right before the break. Nevada has yet to have a play longer than 10 yards. SMU is at 12 of those variety of plays, and Kaepernick throws it away. Margus Hunt in there to pressure him.
Well, I'm not sure what is more shocking, Terry Gannon, SMU scoring 3 on Nevada in the first half, or SMU shutting out Nevada in the first half. And there's Tom Mason. Now, this is an offense that in 9 games in the WAC conference averaged over 50 points a game, and they're being shut out.
Tom Mason, by the way, played for Chris Hall and was an assistant at Nevada. Swing pass to Lamford Mark, nothing doing, even though he was the catch. But this offense has been absolutely shut down.
Well, we talked to Chris Alt during the week. He said, hey, you know, we're looking forward to seeing these young running backs. We're still going to operate as an effective offense, but I think it's safe to say that they are really missing Mr. Tawa, especially in this game.
Tawa, 2,000-yard rushers. If you weren't with us and don't know the story, they're out. Tawa because of academics, Lippincott because of a toe injury. This one's complete. Chris Wellington is drilled, but he hangs on. The junior from Woodland Hills, California, hit hard by Chris Banjo, but they'll move the chains.
Yeah, this was a dangerous throw, but a good throw. Nevada with 2 wide receivers in the same area of the field. And Colin Kaepernick is equally effective rolling to his right or his left, throwing the football. That was a move.
Gain of 19, the longest play from scrimmage today. Kaepernick steps up, had time initially. Kennemer flushes him out of the pocket, takes precious seconds off the clock, though, and that might do it. And it does, as the teams will head to the locker room. So Kaepernick not able to find anyone open downfield. Chris Hall, College Football Hall of Famer. 5 straight years to a bowl, but they're struggling again. They've lost their last 3, and SMU and June Jones dominating during the first half. We'll see if he got out of bounds before the clock ran out, David.
Well, this is one of Kaepernick's fortes. 2 straight years over 1,000 yards at the quarterback position, and I think Nevada was due another play.
Should have gotten one more play, huh? But they won't. It is 31-0. Shocking. SMU over Nevada as we send it to Darinoka for the Cars.com halftime report.
Wow, what a, I mean, they said it. What a clinic SMU is putting on. Trevor Maddich, Darinoka, this is the Cars.com halftime report. Nevada offensively, second in the nation total offense, fifth in scoring offense. I know they're missing a couple 1,000-yard rushers, but being shut out by SMU, and that's just what SMU is doing on defense. On offense, it's lights out performance for the.
It's phenomenal. The freshman quarterback is around 80% of his passes, and he's executing this run and shoot offense with great precision. His touchdowns is an example. Look at his command of the field. He starts to run, then he backs up when he sees Cole Beasley come open and transitions from a run mentality back to a pass mentality. That's a quarterback who understands not only what he's being asked to do with the offense, but understands what the defense is doing to him, and he's interacting with the defense. It's phenomenal.
I'm assuming SMU isn't satisfied with just going to a bowl game for the first time in a quarter century. Winning it might be what they're after. I mean, this is an impressive performance. 31-0 at the half. You want impressive performance? Wait till you see what Andre Ware does. His own classic spin to a Christmas story that you've probably heard about a million times. Only Andre can do it this way.
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery, another heart attack could be lurking, waiting to strike. A heart attack caused by a clot, one that could be fatal. But Plavix helps save lives. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, goes beyond what other heart medicines do alone to provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke and even death by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots. Ask your doctor about Plavix, protection that helps save lives. People with stomach ulcers or other conditions that cause bleeding should not use Plavix. Taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, may increase bleeding risk, so tell your doctor when planning surgery. Certain genetic factors in some medicines, such as Prilosec, may affect how Plavix works. Tell your doctor all the medicines you take, including aspirin, especially if you've had a stroke. If fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion develops, tell your doctor promptly. These may be signs of TTP, a rare but potentially life-threatening condition reported sometimes less than 2 weeks after starting Plavix. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
In 1959, two friends in Michigan started a small company called Amway. Today, we help over 3 million people own their own business, have sales of over $8 billion, and operate in 50 different countries. In North America, we're Amway Global. We're a health and beauty leader with more than 450 products and 700 patents. And we're a business that continues to grow. Now you know. To learn more, contact your Amway Global independent business owner.
To pursue the life you want, you need a financial advocate who knows where you want to go. A Merrill Lynch financial advisor, now with access to the resources of Bank of America, can help you diversify, rebalance, imagine, believe. Merrill Lynch Wealth Management.
Hope I don't miss work this Christmas.
Yeah, how will you pay for things like food, electricity?
Dental bills.
Gadzooks! You need a backup plan. That's why we have Aflac.
So I'll have cash to help pay bills.
Great! But what if you're still not better by Christmas? Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Rudolph's better, but now and sick.
This halftime report is presented by Cars.com, where confidence comes standard.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed sports history being made. I am the champion. Okay. I am the champion. Did it just get serious in lights, cameras, action? I think it did. What? Play like a champion.
We really really should package and sell all those music video montages.
Isn't that awesome?
Aren't they great? They're great. Good
You
stuff.
compare that with college football, rolling.
Absolutely. Like SMU, this year's version of the Pony Express, rolling right now, 31-0 over Nevada out in Hawaii. A lot of great games, though, we're excited about here at the worldwide leader, including the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, Arizona and Nebraska, Trevor.
Dari cannot wait to see this game. Nebraska defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, big number 93. The country saw him really for the first time in the Big 12 championship game against Texas, but the Holiday Bowl will be appointment viewing. Watch this guy rampage through Arizona's offense. And Arizona has a good offense. It'll be a good matchup.
I don't want to be Nick Foles, by the way.
No, their quarterback.
Root Sun Bowl, Stanford, Oklahoma. First time in the history of this game, 76 years, that the tickets have been in their entirety for game day.
Brings a lot of talent into this game against the Sooners. Their running back, Toby Gerhart, was a Heisman finalist. He's a 235-pound bludgeon. But in order for him to do well, he's got to get production from quarterback. His starter this year was Andrew Luck, but Luck is out. And Tavita Pritchard will have to take over and pass well enough to keep the Sooners defense back away from the line of scrimmage. Pritchard is famous for this play. 2 years ago at USC, on 4th down, throwing this pass to win the game when Stanford was over 40 points underdog. So Pritchard knows how to play under pressure.
How about Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, ESPN's the Meineke Car Care Bowl. Pitt and North Carolina. Pitt looking for their first 10-win season since '81, Trip.
Terrific defensive matchup. Both defenses among the best in the nation. The difference in this game will be Pitt's offense. Bill Stoll at quarterback has been a revelation. He's ranked 11th in the nation in pass efficiency this year, and he hands off to Dion Lewis, the short, shifty running back who's got the speed and moves to keep defenses away from his quarterback.
How about Rose Bowl game presented by City, Oregon, Ohio State, New Year's Day, 4:30 Eastern, ABC.
Love this matchup. Oregon's offense would have been more difficult for Ohio State, even if you only had LaMichael James, number 21, at running back. He's small and shifty. He's difficult to catch in the open field. But now it adds another element. Big LeGarrette Blount is back from the punch in the opener against Boise State. He is the kind of a back that complements James so well because he's powerful. He can get those 3 and 4 yards on tough, grinded out plays, and Ohio State's defense will have a tall order to stop both of these guys.
It's been 10 years since a Big Ten team won the Rose Bowl. A lot of that was because of USC being in the Rose Bowl, but now USC playing Saturday in San Francisco against Boston College in the Emerald Bowl, and may have the services of tailback Joe McKnight, their first 1,000-yard back since 2005. He's been cleared to practice with the Trojans, even make the trip up to San Francisco, but not yet cleared to play in the game. University investigating his use of an SUV that was not his. SMU has rolled up over 300 yards through the air. They are hammering Nevada in their first bowl game in 25 years. We're coming right back.
Some say David Abernathy's extraordinary confidence began at birth, when he congratulated the doctor on a perfect delivery. He later approached the much older Carrie Pecor and simply said, "Call me." And she did. At 24, he performed open-heart surgery in a crowded opera house with a ballpoint pen. But when it comes to car buying, he's as nervous as anyone. So at 28, David Abernathy used Cars.com to regain his confidence to get the perfect car at the perfect price.
It's been said that a man's home is his castle, and truer words were never spoken when that home is in the hands of this father and son team. Bringing together their different ideas of suburban architecture, these visionaries gave shape to imagination. True, some elements may be slightly irregular. Just look at that windmill thingy. But still, well done, gentlemen. Well done indeed.
With hundreds of rollbacks on the season's hottest toys. Christmas costs less at Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Welcome back to the Cars.com Halftime Report.
Right about now, Santa loading up his sleigh, reindeer about to take off from the North Pole because it is, after all, the night before Christmas. Time for Andre Ware to give us his spin on a classic Christmas tale.
You know, this time of year, it's kind of special to me, and I like to read my little buddy a Christmas poem, and I wanted you all to be a part of it. So let's get started. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all across the field, teams were preparing for bowls. Hey, you know the deal. So in order to give you fans a little lift, Santa Andre here has these holiday gifts. For Notre Dame, the Brian Kelly era begins. Can a shiny new coach beat Navy and bring bowl wins? And for little Sam Bradford, I'll get straight to the point. I wish you a pain-free season and a healthy AC joint. For the Ohio State Buckeyes, I have just one desire. Ease some of that pressure on young Terrell Pryor. To USC, I give the Trojans swagger of old. Tell the Pac-10 revenge is a dish best served cold. For perfect Boise, Cincy, and well-balanced TCU, keep beating teams and respect will come to you. And props to ball for its new approaches. We now have a record number of black head coaches. To Colt McCoy, you're as tough as a Texas steer, but watch the clock when the end of the game is near. Tim Tebow, your passion and winning provided us a thrill. Thanks for the memories, and we'll miss you in Gainesville. Bobby Bowden, anything in the sport, you've done it. And we'll miss you on the sidelines, dadgummit. Lastly, some of you want a playoff to leave no doubt, but what in the world will we do? And what will we talk about? No matter where you live, keep footballs in flight. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. How was that, little buddy?
Look at a Yorkie-sized Christmas hat there. Oh, boy, SMU, no problem. Well, welcome back to Bowl Games. Second half not far off.
To help avoid cavities and root canals, I use ACT, the fluoride mouthwash dentists recommend.
ACT Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend ACT Restoring mouthwash.
To help avoid dental problems, ACT Daily.
Soon there'll be 1 trillion connected devices in the world.
Can you hear them?
Food is talking to store shelves.
Cargo containers are talking to supply chains.
Power lines are talking to the grid.
Now that's smart.
Systems that allow carrots to tell truck drivers how fresh they are.
Roads alert cars about traffic patterns.
Cars alert mechanics before they break down.
When things communicate,
systems connect.
When systems connect,
the world gets smarter.
That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer. Let's build a smarter planet.
There's a time and place for them. The time is never. You can figure out the place on your own. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Between family, friends, and work, there are never enough hours in the day. So how do I find time to stay in shape? With the Bowflex Tread Climber machine. It's like having 3 cardio machines in one, and it burns up to twice the calories. All I have to do is walk.
The Tread Climber machine delivers the aerobic workout of a treadmill, the climbing resistance of a stair-stepper, and the low-impact movement of an elliptical all at the same time. The result is a low-impact, calorie-blasting workout. Simply put, the Tread Climber machine's 3-in-1 technology delivers more results with less effort in less time. The Tread Climber burns up to 2 times more calories than a treadmill without ever going faster than a brisk walk. You can get firmer thighs, tighter glutes, and a stronger core in just 6 weeks, guaranteed, or your money back. Call or go online now for our special holiday offer. Request your free DVD and find out how you can save $500. This special holiday pricing, including free shipping, won't last long, so act now.
It's the gift that keeps giving all day. The NBA Christmas Special presented by Sprite. Action tips off at noon Eastern on ESPN, 2 p.m. on ABC.
About to get you back to Hawaii. 31-0 SMU, over 300 passing yards by doing what, Trevor?
By making the defense wrong and then finding the mistake. That's what the run and shoot does. Somewhere, somebody will mess up. This is the second play of the game. Kyle Padron, 71 yards to Emmanuel Sanders. The replay shows where the mistake occurred and how they hit it. Sanders is up here. They'll attack this safety on the opposite side. They use this receiver to draw him forward out of position. Now watch the safety inside the hash. He comes forward, and now behind him slips Emmanuel Sanders. As long as the quarterback can find the mistake, the run and shoot cannot be stopped, and Padron is finding the mistakes.
All SMU again, 31-0. Great throw there, great offensive play, but how about the best catches of an entire college football season? Here they are.
This halftime report is presented by Cars.com, where confidence comes standard.
Some say David Abernathy's extraordinary confidence began at birth, when he congratulated the doctor on a perfect delivery. He later approached the much older Carrie Pecor and simply said, "Call me." And she did. At 24, he performed open-heart surgery in a crowded opera house with a ballpoint pen. But when it comes to car buying, he's as nervous as anyone. So at 28, David Abernathy used Cars.com to regain his confidence to get the perfect car at the perfect price.
Look, I don't want to work forever.
Then we need to figure this out now. Our nest egg took a real hit.
What's that website your friend mentioned?
RetirementRedZone.com?
That's it, from Prudential.
Yeah, she talked to her financial advisor about what she learned there. Said it really helped her get back on track.
Oh, I like that.
Help get your plan back on track. Watch our educational video at RetirementRedZone.com, the site for the critical years before and after retirement.
Maybe I can retire after all.
Now you're talking.
Click RetirementRedZone.com, then talk to your financial professional.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out until well, I don't know if all that's true, 'cause you got me, and baby, I got you.
Now more than ever, you are each other's greatest strength. The Everlon Diamond Knot Collection, the strength of love, forged in a knot.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Charlie Daniels play a mean fiddle?
That's how you do it, son.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This is ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed sports history being made. Play like a champion. Stay like a champion. Stay like a champion. What? Play like a champion. Yeah.
And we welcome you back to the 2009 Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week. Beautiful images from Honolulu, where the rain has actually started to fall. We got a shower passing through here at the break. SMU, though, sunny skies throughout the entire first half for them. 31-0. The Mustangs with the lead over Nevada in their first trip back to a bowl in a quarter of a century. Terry Gannon back with David Norrie. Happy holidays. Once again, everybody, what's been more shocking, what SMU has done on offense, Kyle Padron, the freshman, or what they've done on defense?
Well, I think defensively, I mean, remember Nevada, the last 9 games, they've scored over 50 points per contest. And to be shut out in the first half by SMU's defense, you look at the job that Tom Mason has done as a defensive coordinator. And what they really have done, Terry, is they've keyed on Colin Kaepernick, especially in the zone read play. They're forcing him to give the ball to the young tailbacks. And I think it's been a great defensive plan on offense for SMU. Kyle Padron throwing the ball untouched in the pocket. You know, hitting receivers at will. The 2 big balls down the center of the field set things up early, loosened up the defense, and you know, they did a great job of getting 5 wide receivers into the game early. They forced Nevada to play zone in the secondary. And you know, the bowl record for SMU passing yards was set in 1968. In the Bluebonnet Bowl, 281 yards. They have 301 yards at half today. And look at the way that Kyle Padron is spreading the love during the holidays. All sectors of the field.
A couple of touchdowns as well, and over 300 yards in the air for Padron as light drizzle falls to open up the second half. Khalid Wooten bringing this one back from the goal line. Hesitates, slices through and across the 30. For the Nevada offense to go to work, and you got to believe that it will click at some point. This is an offense that led the nation in rushing yards per game, 362 yards per game, and by far the leading team on the ground, and second leading offense in terms of total offense throughout the year, number 5 in points. So they've been shut out for Chris Ault through the first half of play here. They'll place it down just outside the 30 at the 32, 1st and 10 for their first play of the second half. Kaepernick, the high snap out of that pistol offense. They keep it on the ground and get it across the 30 to the 37 with Lamford Mark. So you got Luke Lippincott out with a toe injury. Vaitaua, who did not get enough academic credits this semester to be eligible, and you got to go with Lamford Mark and Mike Ball, and so far it hasn't worked.
Well, and just when you think things can't get worse, if you're Chris Ault, you're down 31-0, you go into the locker room and you come out in a situation where you got to come back, and you come out of the locker room and it's a rainstorm.
In Hawaii, of all places. You feel like it is working against you. Mark, tough running across the 40 in about a yard and a half shy of a first down. He flaps the inside linebacker from South Lake, Texas. Hit.
Well, and you have to be fair, too, when you assess what went on in the first half. This has not been an impressive performance offensively or defensively for Nevada. They came out flat, and I think they've been staggered by the efficiency of the Mustangs on both sides of the football.
Trying to pick up a 3rd and 1 right now. Courtney Randall runs right into the line of scrimmage, and that's where he stops. So the SMU defense again with a big play. Chase Kennemer in there, June Jones on both sides of the football, just dominant.
Well, Kennemer has a great knack for picking his way through blockers, for getting off of blocks. Instinctively, he's one of the better inside linebackers we've seen this year. You're watching him on film, and keep in mind, he was a walk-on at SMU.
Nobody made contact with him, no, and Chris Barker ran right by him. Brad Langley on. He's been active today. This is a pretty good punt. Sanders with the fair catch signal at his own 10-yard line. And a moment to remind you, Jeremiah Masoli leading the Pac-10 champs, the Ducks, Snow Fire, and the Buckeyes, the granddaddy of them all. Number 8 Ohio State taking on number 7 Oregon in the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Should be a pretty good one. We have watched Oregon all year.
That is going to be a great football game, Terry, and just a great contrast in styles. Tressel's going to come in and play it tight to the vest, play defense to his special teams, and then you got that Oregon offense. And Jeremiah Masoli, the way he spreads the ball around, and a whole host of backs to go to. LeGarrette Blount is back. How about the year LaMichael James has had? That is going to be a special game on New Year's Day.
Fire, Masoli, two pretty good running quarterbacks. High snap, and it's whistled dead. False start.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Up until this point, and this is an SMU team that has been nearly perfect in every way, including penalties and turnovers.
And I was a little surprised that Chris Ault didn't think about maybe going for it on 4th down, even 4th and 2 on his own 40 when you're down 31-0. Desperate times require desperate measures, and I think if we see Nevada get in that situation again here in the second half, I won't be surprised if they start rolling the dice on it.
SMU bowl record, those 303 yards. Sombre McNeil brought down by Nate Agayava along with James Michael Johnson. Now bring up second. Nevada defense that has been very good against the run. Ryan Matthews had 100 yards plus against them, but that's it this year on the ground. But struggled a bit against the pass.
Yeah, I'd say more than a bit. They're giving up a lot of yards on the back end, and have really had their way against Nevada. You go back to last year, the Wolfpack was dead last in the NCAA in pass defense, and they haven't exactly shored things up in the 2009 season.
Ken Wilson, the defensive coordinator for this game, but he's been with Chris Ault a long time. Padron throws on the run. He's got Sanders for another first down. And Emmanuel is slow to get up on that far sideline.
Well, the run and shoot offense was originally designed for a quarterback to come away from center with 2 slots, 2 wide receivers, and come on the half roll. Now this is play action here, but the same principle, throwing off that front foot, that right foot on the move, and Padron, he's very patient, and he's content to take a little bit off the football when he has Sanders running free by a couple steps. Puts it right on his receiver.
June Jones offered Kyle Padron, as you see Sanders being worked on the sideline, a scholarship before his senior year of high school. He wasn't even a starter. He hadn't really played yet. They saw him at camp, but that was it. And he broke his hand and only played 5 games his senior year. McNeil on the carry up to the 27-yard line.
Terry, you brought it up in the first half. June Jones is very quick to give Mouse Davis the credit as the originator of this offense. But June Jones has done a great job tweaking it over the years, making adjustments. Defenses do things over time to take away great offensive teams. Now, this was truly the first offense, decades ahead of its time, where wide receivers would come off the line of scrimmage and read the secondary and adjust their routes after the snap of the football. Quarterback on the same page, really a load for a defensive backfield to handle.
Padron throws on the run again and complete. Bradley Haynes, but well defended. Brought down just across the 25 by Jonathan Amaya. Think about what June Jones did at Hawaii, 0-12 to 9-4 the next season. Largest turnaround, biggest turnaround in FBS history, and now the biggest turnaround in 2009.
Look at that. I mean, that is really a great story. When you look at where Hawaii was when he took over, and then SMU. I mean, in this SMU program, the kids were beat down. The confidence was lost. And we'd love to see a team over here in Hawaii that enjoys the experience the way they have.
Sanders back in there healthy. Makes a nifty move. Cuts back. Looks for a block. And brought down at the 36. He lost the football. Nevada has it. The Wolfpack coming up with it at the 27. And the SMU player saying, he was down. But it looks to be marked right there at the 27. Doyle Miller, the man who came up with the football.
Yeah, this was an exciting play, but not a smart play by Sanders. And it looks like the ball's coming out. I mean, we hear about skill athletes getting the ball north and south. This is all east-west.
Dante Moak caused the fumble. Great defensive end for Nevada. Sanders trying to look up and see it on the big screen, the replay, and see if the ball did come out before he went down, and they'll take a closer look at it.
Yeah, it was tough to tell definitively. We'll have to take a couple looks, but that was not a smart play by Sanders. You know, you had the opportunity to get the ball upfield. Your team's up 31-0, and he tried to make a highlight reel play when it really wasn't necessary. And this is one of the ways that you can get a team back in the game. 31-0. Stranger things have happened.
So they'll take a look upstairs. The official review underway. And the knee.
Can't tell, it's out of the frame there, but that might be the question of whether that left knee was down here. Watch the left knee.
And the knee looks to be down.
Yeah, and I think they are going to rule him down there. It doesn't have to be the knee necessarily. It can be in between the ankle and the knee. You know, if your hand hits the ground or your foot is touching the ground, then the play stays alive. But the knee or any part of the knee down to the ankle, and the ball carrier would be ruled down.
And it looks to be down right there, and he's still got the football in his possession.
And that's a great hustle play by Dante Moak, stripping the football.
And is it indisputable? That's the question.
Well, the knee is down, but now the question becomes, is the ball coming loose on the strip by Moak? June Jones is not going to show his senior wide receiver up on the sideline, but you know they're talking to him over there and they're saying, Emmanuel, get the ball upfield, son. You know, tremendous talent and the active NCAA leader, touchdown receptions and yards, prolific career at SMU, and he's turned into a real leader for this team.
And if you talk to NFL scouts, he will be a high draft pick.
We found at the 35-yard line, SMU.
SMU football, so they do reverse it. And if you're Chris Ault, if you're a Nevada fan, you got to be thinking right now, what more can go against us?
Well, I'll tell you, with this offense, a lot more can go wrong. If I know June Jones, he's not going to take his foot off the pedal. Get one last look there. Terry, I went down and watched Portland State play back in the 70s when Neil Lomax was a quarterback. It was Portland State against Delaware State. And, of course, Mouse Davis is still the head coach. The final score was 105-0. And Neil Lomax threw 7 touchdown passes in 1 quarter. It was 49-0 before the end of the first quarter.
So the foot did not come off the pedal.
No.
Sean Bray McNeil racing to the edge. Stiff arms, and he does that well. Out to the, well, about the 43-yard line. Sanders, nice block to help spring him.
And June Jones does a great job of passing out credit, and he talks about Jerry Glanville, his former defensive coordinator in the glory years here at Hawaii with June Jones, and he says everything that we do on defense is based on Jerry Glanville and his scheme, and was giving quite a bit of credit throughout the week here, the bowl week in Honolulu. Of course, Jerry Glanville recently stepped down as the head coach at Portland State.
And Nigel Burke, the defensive coordinator for Nevada, took that head coaching position. Robinson racing down the sideline, over the shoulder catch inside the 5. And the beat goes on.
Wow. Kyle Padron is throwing some NFL-type balls in this game. You cannot throw a go route better than this. Uses his eyes to look the secondary off. And Aldrick Robinson, one of the fastest players in Division I, catches the ball full stride. And June Jones said that Michael Haynes might be the fastest wide receiver he's ever had, college or pro, and had him at the Falcons. But he says Aldrick Taylor is, if he isn't as fast as Michael Haynes, he's a quarter step slower.
53-yard pass sets him up first and goal. And Zach Line tripped up just past the line of scrimmage by Zach Madonic.
I mean, how about the throws that Kyle Padron has made in this game? Granted, his offensive line is doing a great job of creating a clean pocket, keeping him alive and giving him plenty of room to deliver the football. But Padron has made some difficult throws look easy.
This defense has been on the field quite a bit for Nevada. Line to the goal line and in. Touchdown. SMU again. "25 years of frustration all coming out here in Honolulu."
Well, these games are fun if you're SMU on the sidelines. Everybody getting happy. Everybody's going to get their name in the paper. Zach Line, a converted linebacker, and tailback for the Mustangs.
Szymanski on for another extra point. 38-0. The proud program of Doak Walker, Don Meredith, Eric Dickerson. They're back.
Without you, I'll be so.
Tough call.
Well, during the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you can get a Jetta, Tiguan, or award-winning CC for practically just your signature. And Volkswagen even covers scheduled maintenance at no cost.
It can't be that easy. That was pretty easy.
Sign Then Drive is back. Hurry in and get legendary Volkswagen value for practically just your signature.
McDonald's Big Mac Avatar Thrill Card brings you more. Take your card to mcdonalds.com/avatar and prepare to be thrilled.
Man, quitting sucks.
That's better.
Quitting sucks. Nicorette makes it suck less, doubling your chances of success.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Now, I know fans sometimes bring their gloves to baseball games. What would possess you to bring a pineapple? Let's have it. What are you going to do with that, Mr. Norrie?
Well, it's location appropriate.
All right, if you're a real man like Vic Valoria, the strength and conditioning coach, that's how you welcome back the guy who just scored a touchdown. Not the smartest thing in the world, but he's tough. Mike Ball bringing this one back.
We are in Hawaii, Mr. Gannon.
Yes, we are. What's that mean? You headbutt without a helmet in Hawaii?
Bring a pineapple to the game in Honolulu.
For what reason? Take pictures, maybe. Pose for pictures, I guess.
Carve it up.
And Vic is pumped up, as they should be on that sideline. 38-0. And Nevada taking over at the 26-yard line. Colin Kaepernick has led them all season long. He's been the guy who's made the offense go, but without a couple of his backs this afternoon, this has been a stalled offense.
Tau and Lippincott combined 210 yards per game, but Terry, I can't help but think that wouldn't have made much of a difference.
Step away, come right back.
There's a ton of pepperoni.
That was delivered fast.
It's not delivery, and we'd like it back.
Do you order one too?
Can I have my pizza, please?
You've reached Greg and Doug.
That's not yours.
If you leave your name and number.
Can I have the pizza back, please?
New DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings Pepperoni with 50% more awesome pepperoni. For more of what you love, taste, believe. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings.
Don't come down here. We're naked.
I can see you.
Verizon makes a big deal about their maps, but when you look a little closer, their story begins to fall apart. See, AT&T lets you talk on the phone while you surf the web. Verizon doesn't. AT&T has the most popular smartphones and the nation's fastest 3G network. Verizon doesn't. Glad that's cleared up.
Oh. AT&T, a better 3G experience. This holiday, get a touchscreen Samsung Solstice free after mail-in rebate.
Are you paying more than $1.70 a month for phone service? Then you need Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. We are now adding over 250,000 new customers a month because we give you free local and long distance, your own phone number, voicemail, and directory assistance. Replace your phone company or add a second line with Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. Get Magic Jack at Best Buy.
ESPN College Football, the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl, is brought to you by Sheraton Hotels. Life is better when shared. Volkswagen Signed and Drive Event, German engineering for practically just a signature. And AT&T, a better 3G experience.
You know, David, the Hawaiian Islands were formed by volcanic activity. I'm not sure you know that or not.
No, I wasn't aware of that, Terry. But I am aware of this. This place has spectacular beauty that we don't see week in and week out.
Sidearm throw out to Brendan Wimberly. And should have a first down or be close to it. A little extra after the play. And they'll break him up quickly.
I was just kidding. Of course I knew the islands were formed by volcanic activity.
Still going on today as we speak. There's a guy who does not change expressions during a game very often.
No, and I think, you know, initially last year, 1-11 season at SMU, some of the Mustang backers questioned whether his heart was in it. I think they found out different.
Mike Ball, the ball carrier, bounces out and gets to the 44-yard line. So a couple of good positive plays to open up this series for Nevada.
I think it becomes about saving some dignity in this game, and Nevada has got to piece together a drive here. They've got to find a way to get back in rhythm, and I think Colin Kaepernick has got to start carrying the ball some from the quarterback position.
After Mark breaks through into the secondary, and he'll have a first down at the 43 of SMU. Nevada averaged 362 yards per game on the ground. The #2 team in the nation, Georgia Tech, more than 55 yards less than the Wolfpack per game.
Yeah, and we talked about it. 3 1,000-yard rushers, 2 are out of this game. And Colin Kaepernick, back-to-back 1,000-yard years. He's only the 10th quarterback in college football history to achieve that feat.
This is the first play from scrimmage inside SMU territory since the opening drive for Nevada. Remember, they were stopped on that 4th and 2 to start the game. First time they've been back.
We talked to defensive coordinators, and we did the Nevada-San Jose State game earlier this year. You talk to defensive coordinators, and they want to get Kaepernick in obvious throwing situations, and they want to put you in 3rd and long, 2nd and long, but there haven't been many teams that have been able to achieve that. And SMU has played big-time ball game on defense. Front 7 has been lights out.
Had the hurry-up offense going, but Kaepernick takes some time to make the calls at the line of scrimmage right now. Wants to throw, looks to run, picks up a first down, run out inside the 30. So the drive continues. What do you think about Colin Kaepernick? Only a junior, but at the next level, perhaps.
Well, I think he needs another year of seasoning, and he's going to get it. He's only a junior, but his combination of size, his speed, he's about a 4'6" guy. Athleticism, makes good decisions. I think he's going to be intriguing if he can continue to develop throwing the football. He's made some great strides off of last year.
Number 2 in Nevada history in total offense, almost 10,000 yards. Can't get a block right now. And brought down at the 25-yard line. Remember, he's a heck of an athlete. Drafted this past year by the Cubs as a pitcher. Throws in the mid-90s, even though he hasn't played lately.
Well, and it's interesting. Throws in the mid-90s, and he was a sidearm thrower, a sidearm passer a year ago. And Chris Auld even says he progressed from being a passer. They clean up his mix, and his accuracy and his percentage shot up to over 60%.
Play action, throws sidearm this time, slings it out, has his man complete along the far sideline. Trey Session, the sophomore from Long Beach, California.
That's a sweet ball on the move, and he throws just as well moving to his left as he does to his right. And he asked me, Terry, about his prospects on Sundays. The question is going to be, can he drop back 5 and 7 and throw the ball in rhythm, and can he become a good passer? The rhythm throws from the pocket, but he is very good on the move.
And does not really do that very often out of this offense. Going to give it to Ball. Legs going inside the 5 to the 4. Yuri Yenga, the junior from Texas, originally from Congo. On the hit. And for the first time today, a sustained drive for Nevada. They've taken it down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
The question was whether this front 7 would hold up for SMU, and most people said no. The Yuri Yenga, Taylor Thompson, Marquise Frazier, and Chris Parham, they have been rock solid along that defensive front.
Play action. Kaepernick tipped up, dangerous, and incomplete. Could have been picked off. To Garrett Davis, only a freshman. And going to be a good one.
Yeah, he has the look of a football bowl subdivision linebacker. We used to say a D1 player, but now we say FBS. But he has a frame and the athletic ability to really be a special player. State high hurdles champion. Out of the state of Texas.
3rd and goal. Wolfpack desperately trying to get something on the board. Kaepernick flushed out, running, looking, running. Hit hard, lost the football, but it's out of bounds. Lost it at the 4. That's where they'll mark it. It'll be 4th and goal.
Yeah, and I think he lost it inside the 3, maybe even at the 2-yard line. But if this ball was fumbled forward, it would be moved back to the spot of the fumble. But here, the ball's going to go backwards, and Nevada loses the yards. And I'm a little surprised that they're going to kick a field goal down 38-zip.
If he doesn't lose it out at the 4, if he lost it at the 2, maybe Chris Ault does go for it. Ricky Drake hasn't had many chances this year, only his 9th field goal try, and he gets it. So he's 6 for 9 on the year. And at least something on the board for Chris Ault and the Wolfpack.
The 2010 Rose Bowl game, Ohio State, Oregon, New Year's Day on ABC.
Hawaiian Telcom Yellow Pages. Find it easy, find it here.
I do remember it feeling like a monster chasing me down. And the power and the energy, you know, there's just nothing else like it.
See the rest of the story at gohawaii.com/stories and start planning your own Hawaii adventure.
You're coming so close to an earthly process that you normally never experience in your lifetime.
See the rest of the story at gohawaii.com/stories and start planning your own Hawaii adventure.
I don't know.
You know, Volkswagen takes care of the scheduled maintenance at no cost. And during the Sign Then Drive event, you can get a CC, Jetta, or top safety rated Tiguan for practically just your signature. It's that easy.
I can't believe it. I can believe it. Yep.
Sign Then Drive is back. Hurry in and get legendary Volkswagen value for practically just your signature.
A Monday night battle from the black and blue division, coach.
It's time to pound a rock.
Intense NFC North rivals meet for a Monday night slugfest.
Brett Favre and the Vikings are fighting for prime playoff position.
But Jay Cutler and the Bears will be on the prowl for an upset.
Can the division champs get back on track, or will Chicago bear down for a Windy City win?
ESPN Monday Night Football, Vikings-Bears at 8:30.
Triumphant return for June Jones to Honolulu a couple days ago, signing autographs alongside Dan Rudiger. Yeah, Rudy. The Rudy.
Is that Rudy?
That's Rudy. They become very good friends through the years, Rudy and June Jones. And on a personal note, I've been a friend of Rudy since I was about 2 years old. And I went through that whole experience, of which they made the movie, of course, when he was at Notre Dame. Mr. Nori used to stay in his little dorm room in the athletic center, the Notre Dame basketball room, and he would sneak me out onto the court at 3 a.m. to shoot baskets at Notre Dame before the night watchman would run us off.
Yeah, no, you've told me multiple stories about Rudy, and I grew up in Portland, you grew up in Chicago, so you were, you know, much closer to South Bend, but I think it's safe to say we both grew up Notre Dame fans, and it's just what you did if you were back in the 70s, and a lot of people obviously followed Notre Dame football back at that time, and they still do, but it's one of my favorite sports movies.
Having known him before he was quote-unquote Rudy, number one, he hasn't changed a bit through the years. Number two, it's just, you know, now you talk about Notre Dame and you say Rockne, Leahy, Parsegan, and Rudy. It's unbelievable. Sean Bray McNeil, and by the way, that movie's absolutely true. I saw it all. McNeil with the carry in a short game. They'll keep it on the ground. Jonathan Amaya on the hit, but you would expect, right, at this point, 255 and running, they might keep it on the ground. Or would you? I mean, you talked about June Jones keeping the foot on the pedal.
Well, June Jones is going to work the clock a little here, but he's always going to sprinkle some run in to keep things fresh in the pass game. And boy, he has to be, I know he's not giving it away, and you can't see it the way he's carrying himself on the sideline and his demeanor, but he has to be thrilled about the way his team is playing on his return to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's all over his face. You could the emotion, as you say, a little bit high and behind Sanders. And just all part, this game of Capital One Bowl Week rolls on Saturday. Now, we've talked about which one do you like the best out of those three?
I think BC USC is one of the best games we're going to see before the new year, certainly. And the Trojans reeling a little bit. You know, I was not surprised at the way things unraveled for USC in November, just because it was the first time in so long that, you know, in a lot of ways, the Trojans didn't have something to play for. And I think it showed at times on both sides of the football down the stretch.
Will that come out in the bowl game?
That's a big storyline.
You know, the drone steps up, avoids the rush, keeps going, and finally brought down out at the 25-yard line. How about the that Carolina hit game too, though? You've got I mean, Pitt was so close to a Big East BCS bid, and Carolina, great defense for them, and just a couple of hours from Chapel Hill, playing that game in Charlotte. Szymanski on for the punt. Thompson, and flags coming down. Can't get away. Dropped at the 35, balls loose. Nevada appeared to get there first. So they'll sort out the fumble first, and then the penalty marker. And Nevada did get there, but we'll have to wait and see what the penalty is.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 3. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
I'm taking a look at the top of the play, and the ball is out.
And it was definitely a fumble.
And Kennemer is a guy that you just love to have on your defense.
It's a guy that's just shocked them in some ways. You know, played a little bit last year, comes in this year as a starter and ends up being your star. Leads you in tackles.
He's also been a star in the classroom.
Cannons going off in the background, and they'll run the pistol offense with a short gain across the 25.
I mean, typically when we do Nevada games, we get into the pistol a little bit. We talk about the offense, but, you know, it has not been a factor. And Chris Alt's offense obviously built around a quarterback in the shotgun at about 4.5 yards. The tailback's 3 yards behind him, and you have the ability to go both ways. You don't tip your hand in terms of which way the running back can go, left or right. Gives you some nice blocking angles, and really the advantage is getting downhill and having balance to go both ways in your offensive scheme.
Play action, Kaepernick throws on the run. Look, the big tight end has a first down. But that's, you know, coming in. The big question was SMU's defense is built around speed. It's undersized. It's not built to stop a run game like Nevada, but they've just shut it down.
Well, and you know, there's a difference between the East and West Division teams in Conference USA. The East is more of a power running division. They like to throw the ball and finesse it a little bit more in the West, but SMU has struggled against teams that have been physical up front, and we're talking about the leading team in rushing offense in the country, this Nevada offense, 362 plus per game.
Time to throw for Kaepernick, goes into traffic and broken up. Nice play by Brian McCann, who timed it perfectly.
And the secondary for SMU has had a nice ball game as well. McCann, a guy who's really progressed, excellent speed, number of high school sprint champions on this SMU roster. McCann is one of them. And dynamic as a kick returner. And that is solid coverage down the football field against a big tight end.
It's a guy who's come back from so much in his career. He had open heart surgery, McCann, as a 2-year-old. That car accident, serious one as a 6-year-old, had a broken leg, ankle his senior year of high school. Kaepernick's dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 2. And again, it's number 9 in there, Kennemer, to hit him. We're headed to the 4th in Honolulu. June Jones is happy. Gasol, not so much.
ESPN The Weekend, February 25th through the 28th. Visit ESPNtheWeekend.com for details.
Tough call.
Well, during the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you can get a Jetta, Tiguan, or award-winning CC for practically just your signature. And Volkswagen even covers scheduled maintenance at no cost.
It can't be that easy. That was pretty easy.
Sign Then Drive is back. Hurry in and get legendary Volkswagen value for practically just your signature.
Hi, is Denise working?
Yeah, she's in the back. Can I take your order?
I'm just a little bit more comfortable ordering with Denise. Hey, hi. You remember me? I came by yesterday and gave me that 5-layer burrito. That new one for
89 cents.
Is that cool? Is that still cool?
It's an inside deal for everyone. Layers of seasoned beef, cheddar cheese, and a hidden layer of nacho cheese sauce. It's Taco Bell's new beefy 5-layer burrito for just 89 cents. Why pay more?
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed Too Tall Jones too tall?
I was gonna guesstimate.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
6 overtimes. Can you imagine how you would feel if you missed this game?
Log on to ESPN360.com to see all your favorite sports live. It's where to watch when you can't watch.
It's a sad story, a cautionary tale.
Coming up on SportsCenter from Los Angeles, Pete Carroll waiting for the green light on Joe McKnight. Nick Saban using reverse psychology on his own team. Hey, what's wrong with the Saints? We go all access with the Lakers.
Between family, friends, and work, there are never enough hours in the day. So how do I find time to stay in shape? With the Bowflex Tread Climber machine. It's like having 3 cardio machines in one, and it burns up to twice the calories. All I have to do is walk.
The Tread Climber machine delivers the aerobic workout of a treadmill, the climbing resistance of a stair stepper, and the low-impact movement of an elliptical all at the same time. The result is a low-impact, calorie-blasting workout. Simply put, the Tread Climber machine's 3-in-1 technology delivers more results with less effort in less time. The Tread Climber burns up to 2 times more calories than a treadmill without ever going faster than a brisk walk. You can get firmer thighs, tighter glutes, and a stronger core in just 6 weeks, guaranteed, or your money back. Call or go online now for our special holiday offer. Request your free DVD and find out how you can save $500. This special holiday pricing, including free shipping, won't last long, so act now.
Bo, roll on. Oh, look at that. And they're right after the game today, Mr. Norrie.
I know that piques your interest, Mr. Gannon.
Gorgeous city.
You told me you were dropping some bombs on the course the other day.
Nah. Over the middle, Wimberly had it and lost it.
Wherever we go, our producer Jim Zeroli matches up against Terry Gannon out on some of the nicer layouts across the country and in the islands. And apparently Mr. Gannon was red hot with the blade the other day.
The flat stick. Yeah, blind squirrel once in a while. 4th down. Yeah, the punt team on again. Nobody's back deep for SMU. Yeah, finally they have to.
Timeout. SMU. They're first to the half.
And no one was out there. They burn a timeout. June saying, "Where's my return man?" It's not him.
I said, how'd you like the show? She said I was very amused. I started throwing bass, she started throwing back mid-range. But when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. I called the room, I got picked up again. I called her in, I said, yo, who is that? Oh, he's just a friend. Don't give me that. Don't even give me that. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just...
Boston Lager continues to be a very special beer. 6 weeks after Jim started the business, he took the Best Beer in America award.
No one had tried an American beer that had that kind of flavor. 20 years on, Jim is still obsessed with Boston Lager.
Sam Adams Lager continues to win medals all over the world. That's pretty cool.
When I think of value, I think of something that's going to last. Something that's priced right. I think of Wrangler. Always have.
For unbeatable comfort and value, you can count on Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built comfortable with a relaxed fit. Priced right for a great value.
You can pay more, but you won't get more.
Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
They're running the Men's Room Marathon.
With lots of guys going over and over.
And here's the dash to the men's room with lots of guys going urgently.
And then there's the night game.
Waking up to go.
These guys should be in a race to see their doctors.
Right. Those could be urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
But for many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
When taking Flomax, avoid driving or hazardous tasks until you know how Flomax will affect you, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
Tell your doctor about all medications you take. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax.
Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
Call 877-4-FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Welcome into the studio. I am Dario Noka with this bowl update brought to you by Flomax, and it has been all Mountain West so far this bowl season. We start with the first bowl game of the year. It's Wyoming and Fresno State. Double overtime. Austin Carter Samuels to David Leonard. Cowboys win. So the Mountain West 1-0. Now back to BYU taking on Oregon State. Max Hall to Dennis Pitta. Make it 2 wins, no losses for the Mountain West. You just saw Mountain West beat Pac-10. How about Utah using offense and defense to beat Cal? Mountain West 3-0 this bowl season. Great start to the season for the Mountain West as we send you back to Hawaii.
Sun setting here in Honolulu. Emmanuel Sanders a chance to return this one. Blocking the back and every Yankee just threw it, including in the stands. That one was obvious.
That's the game that Austin Carter Samuels had in that New Mexico Bowl for Wyoming. Dave Christensen has a quarterback to look forward to over the next 3 years, much as June Jones does.
Yeah, waiting a long time for what seems to be a pretty obvious call here.
And Terry, they need to take their time here. I mean,
there are 2
flags a lot that goes
flags
into this
on the play during the return. Holding, return team number 31. That penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. Return team number 26. 10-yard penalty, first down.
All right, that's why.
These things need to be sorted out.
That's your explanation. You had more than one infraction on that play. The Gaylord Hotels Music City Bowl. Kentucky taking on Clemson this Sunday as bowl season rolls on. 34 games. In all, 27 of them on the ESPN family of networks. How about C.J. Spiller, huh?
Yeah, we're going to be seeing him make a big impact in the league for years to come. He is a very special talent, and I think he's going to be a great draft pick for an NFL team.
Swing pass to McNeil, breaks through, has a first down at the 32. A lot of football people this year just talking to different people around the country when they saw C.J. Spiller in person for the first time, were very surprised. I mean, it had a number of people tell me, I think he's the best back in the country.
Well, he's got the size. Obviously, he has the speed, but he has great moves in the open field, ability to slip tackles and then get to the top end speed in a hurry. And he's beyond his years in terms of development, and he will be an every down back.
Still throwing out of the run and shoot. An incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended receiver.
And there's very few backs that come out of college football and move to Sundays that can carry the ball every down and have the big playability of a C.J. Spiller. And we mentioned Job at Best as the other tailback that really jumps out at you in terms of big play tailbacks, exciting running backs in the open field this year in college football. But C.J. Spiller has the build and the frame to pack the mail 25, 30 times a game.
Ingram, Gerhardt, different type runners. Best, smaller back, explosive, but Spiller kind of a blend. Yeah, he can do it all. Padron had 3 guys open on that play, and he finds Sanders. There is a flag in the backfield, and it came in late.
Yeah, this might be a late hit.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 55. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
This run and shoot offense can frustrate a pass rush, and Dante Moak, one of the best pass rushers west of the Mississippi, 34.5 tackles behind the line of scrimmage over the last 2 years, defensive player of the year in the WAC, and looks like he's had enough of watching Kyle Padron slide around in the pocket and hit balls down the football field.
You know, as a team, Nevada, with 29 sacks this year, they led the WAC, and they're just not getting to Padron at all today. 1 sack on the day. Going deep, far sideline, incomplete. Sanders had to look over the outside shoulder to try to get to that one. And every play, Padron over to talk to his head coach.
And June Jones calls the plays, and look at the numbers. 1968 Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl passing SMU 268. Kyle Padron had that record taken care of at halftime. 301 yards for the Mustangs in the first half.
Blue Bonnet Bowl. Boy, that takes you back to your youth, doesn't it? It really does. Padron, little flip out to Zach Line near the original line of scrimmage.
My first year at UCLA back in 1981, I was redshirting as a freshman, but we played Michigan in the Blue Bonnet Bowl game. And I remember AC, Anthony Carter, Butch Woolfolk, Steve Smith at quarterback. And the Wolverines took care of us that night. It was a New Year's Eve night, if I recall. My head coach Terry Donahue was not very excited in the locker room after the game. And he let the team know about it.
About the same emotion that Chris Alt is feeling right now. Padron may pick up the blitz, get it to Sanders, who's going to lose yardage though. And a helmet. Nate Agayava took the helmet away and any gain away. So we approach the 12-minute mark of the fourth quarter here in the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl edition. It's been all SMU since the start. First bowl trip, 25 years, 1984, the last one, and it was right here in Aloha Stadium. Szymanski normally, today at least, has been on for extra points. One of the rare punts. And it's going to sail into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. So the sun beginning to set here in Honolulu. Nothing like a Honolulu sunset.
is no time to play. I'm picking a photo for my Capital One credit card. Old man Sutter? Why would I put his picture on my card? Nice drawing, but this photo's cuter.
Personalize your card by uploading your own photo at CapitalOne.com.
Lady, what's in your wallet?
911, what's your emergency?
Conquered the skies. Conquered Mount Everest. Conquered the neck. Philips Norelco Architect. Designed with a flexible head, which allows it to pivot and rotate freely. So you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck. Tackle all your shaving and grooming needs and play to win the ultimate football weekend at Miami 2010. Check out the details at NorelcoMVP.com.
When the flu hits you hard, hit right back with Theraflu. Nothing fights your worst flu symptoms with more power. Theraflu. Good to be back.
Hey, Ham. What do you think the fine is for streaking?
I don't know. Like $300-400? Why?
You stink! Sorry.
The more you save on insurance, the more you'll have for football. Are you in good hands?
ESPN College Football, the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl, is brought to you by the Islands of Hawaii, Capital One, what's in your wallet, and Philips Norelco, the #1 electric razor.
Santa's hanging loose there, but he's got a big night tonight coming up. Right here, it's pleasant, 76. In Dallas, they've had snow all day long, a white Christmas, and my description for 23 degrees is not clear. I wouldn't describe it that way.
You're spoiled living in Los Angeles.
Yeah, you're right. Old Chicago guy and the blood thins.
Can't believe it's snowing in Big D.
Play action Kaepernick quickly out to Wimberly, who stays in, and then it just pounded by Chase Kennemer, who smiles afterward. So 38-3, and it was 38-0 at one point.
Yeah, let's listen in here. That was helmet on helmet. Kennemer plays with a lot of enthusiasm, and he likes to hit stationary targets.
Who doesn't? Kaepernick the throw again near sideline. Nice catch out at the 45-yard line. So little pitch and catch to Chris Wellington, the third leading receiver on the year. Big average for him. A guy who can beat some teams deep.
And if Nevada's missing something on offense, it is that speed, and June Jones has plenty of it on his offense. You mentioned some of the sprint champions, Texas State sprint champions, and Oklahoma State sprint champion on the SMU roster. Nevada, I think, needs to retool a bit at wide receiver to complement Wimberly and put some deep speed on the outside.
You can on the blitz. Kaepernick the spin and throws it away, but just to get away from that blitz. Pretty nice move from Colin Kaepernick.
And Colin Kaepernick is an extraordinary talent for a 6'6", 220-pounder. That was Brian McCann coming free on a corner blaze. A blitz from the boundary corner. And you can see that Kaepernick, even though he had his eyes trained down the football field, he felt the corner blitz and spun out of it.
Nevada, in their second trip to the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl, they won it back in 05, beat UCF. Great game, double overtime. Kaepernick steps up, throws and overthrows a wide open Brandon Wimberly. He was under pressure when he threw it, but threw it about 10 feet too high.
Well, the Wolfpack came into this game close to a 2-touchdown favorite. And Terry, we did the East Carolina Boise State game a couple years back. And we saw East Carolina come in with Chris Johnson, a guy who's doing a lot of damage for Tennessee Titans right now on Sundays. But we saw East Carolina come in and take care of Boise State when the Broncos were close to a 2-touchdown favorite. Not always the team that has been supposed to win on paper.
Kaepernick away from the rush, slings it out, incomplete at the 36-yard line. That is Wimberly, his favorite target, but well, he threw that old-fashioned sidearm style on the move.
We've seen his accuracy rolling to the left, and Kaepernick's going to give you a snapshot here of what he can do moving to his right, throwing against the grain. Nice job of checking the danger down the field. Doesn't pick up any white jerseys on his radar screen as rocked out. Dennis is closing from a safety position. That was a pretty throw.
You mentioned that performance of Johnson here kind of broke out, and people really took notice that. He's got about 1,700 yards this year at the Tigers. Lampert Mark breaks it outside, stays in bounds, and first down.
Lampert Mark has a ton of speed. He just hasn't been turned loose at the second and third levels of the defense. With all the scoring that SMU has done on offense, the play of Padron, the wide receivers, the offensive line, I think it's the defense for SMU that has been the story. Just stunning the way that they have shut down one of the better offenses in college football.
Shane Anderson, backup wide receiver in motion. Kaepernick play action, brought down at the 17. Almost getting through, but Pete Fleps wrapped him up.
Not many chinks in Colin Kaepernick's armor, but you know, I think at times, Terry, he carries the ball a little. Now he's been pretty successful and been pretty solid in terms of ball security, but that catches up with you when you're carrying the football with that much air.
Second half of the season, Nevada's done a much better job of taking care of the football. The first 3 games, when they lost those 3, it was a 10-1 deficit against, and just as I say it on cue, it pops up and Rock Dennis picks it off. Wow.
Now the ball was on the spot. Good throw from Kaepernick. Malcolm Shepard. You got to make this play to help your quarterback. Dennis makes the play.
ESPN Monday Night Football, Vikings Bears at 8:30.
That is a ton of pepperoni.
That was delivered fast.
It's not delivery, and we'd like it back.
Do you order one too?
Can I have my pizza, please?
You've reached Greg and Doug.
That's not yours.
If you leave your name and number.
Can I have the pizza back, please?
New DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings Pepperoni with 50% more awesome pepperoni. For more of what you love, taste, believe. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings.
Don't come down here. We're naked.
I can see you.
When you work as hard as I do, you need a laptop built for maximum productivity. And that's why I bought a Toshiba. Now I always keep my eye on the ball.
Will be outstanding.
Fantastic. Total slam dunk. It's got power, portability.
Cleveland traded Henderson? Come on!
A Toshiba laptop lets you get the job done.
Hey, Agnes. Carolina scored again. It's a blowout.
Toshiba, leading innovation.
To help my patients avoid dental problems, I recommend Act Fluoride Mouthwash.
Act Restoring works with calcium to rebuild enamel, making it twice as strong. That's why dentists recommend Act Restoring Mouthwash.
To avoid dental problems, act daily.
This holiday season, give the gift of the special edition TomTom 125 or the widescreen XL 330S. 2 easy-to-use TomToms available now at Walmart for 2 special low prices. TomTom, go confidently.
I tried the other energy drinks, and what made me switch was the size of the drinks kept getting bigger and bigger. I just wanted energy. I didn't want to get bloated. The 2 ounces of 5-hour energy really does make a difference. With the other energy drinks, it was kind of a sugar high. I felt on edge, and that's not what I'm looking for before I go on a mountain bike ride or a run or a swim, and I never felt that with 5-hour energy. It gave me a boost, and the boost lasted, and I never crashed. It gives you that sense of alertness. Nothing works like 5-hour energy.
This holiday season, give your new HD TV the best gift ever. You've got Dish Network. Now get Dish Network HD. With one simple call, you'll get the most HD channels, the highest HD quality available, And we've got the best deals on the best DVRs in the business. Plus, HBO and Showtime for let the joy of the holidays surround you in stunning HD. Dish Network HD.
Earlier in the week, SMU making a visit to Pearl Harbor and the USS Arizona. Always an emotional trip, but especially for June Jones, because he and his special teams coach, Frank Gans, who was with him in the NFL as well, around football for a long time. Frank passed away in April, but they would walk and talk about coming here to this bowl game, and especially about making a trip, taking the team to Pearl Harbor. Frank had played and coached at Navy, was an Air Force pilot, had a knee operation, and passed away after complications from that. But June was emotional even talking about that trip to Pearl Harbor.
Frank Crash Gans, and he was the head coach with the Kansas City Chiefs in the late 80s. One of the great special teams coaches that the NFL's ever seen, and his son has that same role at UCLA. Check that for Rick Neuheisel right now.
And that is a shot, by the way, from the backside of this stadium. That's how close Aloha Stadium is to Pearl Harbor.
We did the piece today, the musical journey piece on Elvis Presley, and Elvis Presley was involved in the fundraising to establish that.
The drone stepping up, throwing deep. Robinson out there. What a catch again. I mean, Aldrick Robinson making an adjustment and a burst of speed with the ball in the air and the hands to hold on. Wow.
Well, you can't throw the deep ball much better than Kyle Padron has done tonight. And Doyle Miller, after this reception, and that is a big-time catch, as you said, Terry, but after the reception, Doyle Miller was shaking his head. And I don't think these defensive backs have seen quarterbacks and wide receivers get down the field in the regular season and hit passes like they've seen today. Post balls, seam balls, go routes. That is a heck of a over-the-top throw by Kyle Padron.
Padron with 450 yards in the air. Jimmy Clausen last year had 401. Colt Brennan with the record 559 in terms of this bowl game. But that's a freshman who, coming into the game, you talk to the coaches, and they're not yet willing to go on the record and say, hey, it's his job for the next 3 years after this. But I think after a performance like this, I think you have to say he's got the edge at least.
Well, June Jones has a couple of quarterbacks on the roster that are going to compete in spring. They've got a guy that has transferred from New Mexico State, a kid that's a commit out of St. Louis that they're pretty high on. And yeah, June Jones wants to create that competition at the quarterback position. Let's face it, the quarterback position is big, but in the run and shoot, it's everything. But Kyle Padron has shown, I think, June Jones and shown us some things this afternoon that could establish him as the #1 guy going into spring and maybe coming out of spring.
Yeah, you talk to the SMU fans, and they say as the handoff goes to McNeil, Sean Bray across the inside the 30 to the 29. Say, look, we had the great run back in the heyday with Eric Dickerson and Craig James, those guys. But before that, yes, we've got the Doak Walkers and some big names, but wasn't a whole lot of success leading up to that. So it's not just the 25 years since and one winning season until this year since then. They've suffered through some years.
But they were a team that would compete, and they went to a number of Cotton Bowls. Actually went to a Rose Bowl back in the day, believe it or not. And it was a team that was used to competing day in, day out. Year in, year out. They were extremely competitive in the old Southwest Conference.
Neal breaking through close to the 25. This is their 12th bowl in the history of SMU football.
And of course, they really got it going in the early 80s, as you said, with the Pony Express. Everybody remembers.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Everybody remembers Eric Dickerson and, of course, our own Craig James.
By the way, for you fans watching in Dallas, ESPNDallas.com, the place to get the latest on the teams you care most about. Big 12, Mavs, Cowboys, the Mustangs. ESPNDallas.com, your home for sports news HBO highlights and updates in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And think about the season it's been for teams in that area, not only SMU, but TCU.
Well, the task and the journey continues for SMU. If you look at legitimate number of tickets that are being sold at the home field on campus back in Dallas, it's been pretty lean. And June Jones needs to continue to win to get some fans in those seats and to continue the momentum that he started here in the first 2 years. But Terry, I think the progress has been astounding when you look at where the program has been.
What about the flip side if you're Nevada and all that you've built this year?
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Wow, and the grimace back to the face of Chris Auld. Now you're 8-4. You're 7-1 in the WAC. You make the 8-game run. You lose the last one to Boise State. You come to a bowl game and you really don't show up.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing. I think you leave Hawaii with a bad taste in your mouth. This is going to be the 4th consecutive defeat for Nevada in a bowl game. And granted, they've played some good games and losses. 21-20 defeat to Miami up in Boise 3 years ago, but this is not something that you take too lightly if you're Nevada.
Drone still throwing, still connecting. Complete at the 25 to Terrence Wilkerson, the sophomore, second leading receiver on the year.
And it just goes to show you cannot take a June Jones offense lightly. And the SMU defense may be the story this afternoon, but people have learned their lesson. June Jones coached at Hawaii that if you're not hitting on all cylinders, you're not sharp in terms of your responsibilities, a secondary or pass rush, this run and shoot offense can embarrass you.
Ken Wilson stepping in as the defensive coordinator for this game. Timing is everything in life. Padrone runs out of bounds inside the 20, so they will move the chains again. He's hurt at the end of this. Be a nice flight back to Dallas for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle Padrone turned his ankle at the end of this play, but watch the mobility, the move at the line of scrimmage to freeze defenders and move the chains. And you can see him grabbing the ankle there just about the time he hits the turf. That right ankle. He has been on the money in this bowl game. I've been impressed, Terry.
Impressed enough to make him our Capital One player of the game, David?
Go ahead and give it to him.
All right, we'll give it.
Show him what he's run.
There you go. And see, you say it comes up. 459 passing yards, single game. SMU records, not only a bowl record, which he had in the first half, but a single game record for SMU. Play action, another throw. Quick one complete. Inside the 15 to the 14. Cole Lofton getting in the action, redshirt freshman.
And typically 38-3 lead inside 5 minutes. You might have a problem with the team continuing to throw the football, but this is the run and shoot stripes. This is what they do. And you can't help but think that the SMU program really benefited from the extra practice time, Terry. It used to be you'd get 15 extra practices if you were in a bowl game. Now you can have as many as you'd like as long as you fall within that hour limitation, number of hours limitation per week. And the SMU has clearly benefited.
Darius Johnson goes to a knee after making the catch. Don't forget, coming up next, SportsCenter comes your way. And you can tune into ESPN News for a post-game extra to wrap up our game immediately following the game. You can log on to ESPN360.com for live coverage of the trophy ceremony here from Aloha Stadium. What we're saying, David, is we got options. There it is. Our very own promo down on the field. So SportsCenter next. It's 3 minutes 32 seconds to go. So this is our last broadcast of the year. It's been quite a journey, to say the least, with you. Not only the musical journey all over the country, but in the booth, too. Look ahead to the national championship game. I want to get your take on that and what we'll see in Pasadena on the 7th.
Well, I think Texas is very fortunate to be in that game after what happened down the stretch against Nebraska. And I know that Coach Mack and Colt McCoy, a couple of my favorites, they're very relieved that Hunter Lawrence hit that 49-yarder to take them off the hook. But I think it's going to be a terrific game. It's in a great setting. The Rose Bowl has been a great spot for national title games. The last time we saw two teams line up for the national title was Texas and USC, and that might have
wasn't bad.
Wasn't a bad game at all.
Yeah, and the people from Texas also kind of happy there was 1 second left at the end.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm saying. But I think right now, if you ask me my feeling on that game, I think Alabama is the team playing with the momentum right now. I like Alabama to win that football game.
Heisman Trophy winner, though. McNeil to the end zone. And they just keep scoring points here in Honolulu. Looks like Chandre wanted to take home the pylon. There is a flag, but it's at the end of the play, and it might be the celebration.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 8. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Watch what he does here with the pylon.
Yeah, he had to know that
he's putting. It breaks right to left.
You heard about your exploits on Tuesday. Yeah, that's excessive. That would qualify as excessive.
Yeah.
That was Ocho Cinco.
Yeah. Zemanski for another extra point. And it's 45-3. He missed the putt a little bit to the left, but they get June Jones with the Gatorade of the water.
He pulled it.
They still haven't gotten him. They get him at the end. There he is.
His reputation is expanding faster than the universe. He once had an awkward moment just to see how it feels. He lives vicariously through himself. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
We're on the island of misfit toys.
Hey, check out the new guy.
What are you doing here? You can download apps and browse the web.
Yeah, people will love you. You're gonna fit right in here.
With 5 times more 3G coverage than AT&T, Verizon Wireless is your destination for great gifts. Right now, buy one Droid Aeris with Google by HTC and get one free. Verizon Wireless.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Charlie Daniel a mean fiddle?
So how you do it, son?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Always get a great taste of the culture when you come to this game. The Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl, that was part of the halftime celebration. But influences from all over the world. Major recording artists from Japan. Benny sang the national anthem. I know you've got all of her CDs at home.
No, but I'm looking forward to delving into her anthology. I'm sure the fire marshal's happy about some of those traditional activities.
It's Hawaii. Anything goes. They'll bring it back from the 15. Mike Ball returning this. And out to the 40-yard line. They assess the penalty on that kick.
Taking another look at the touchdown. This has been a dominant performance by the offensive line for SMU. And thoroughly controlling the defensive front for Nevada. And then if there's any question that Sean Bray McNeil was a transfer from Miami, there's no longer any doubt.
You're right. He did pull the putt, though.
That was very, very you-like.
Not me, but the you. Miami. Kaepernick, shotgun, quick throw, Wimberly. And has a first down for Nevada. Would love to get another score up there just to get a touchdown in this game. An offense that averages almost 41 points per game, and they have not gotten into the end zone for Chris Hall.
And the WAC conference final 9 games of the season, this offense was piling up 50-plus points per game.
Plenty of time to throw. Kaepernick almost picked off. And that was not going to get there. SMU on the other side, though, you think about how impressive they've been on offense. They've had 19 plays of over 10 yards, 4 plays of 50 yards or more. And remember, they opened up the game. The first 2 touchdown drives of the game first one took a minute and a half. The second one took a minute 5.
Well, and you look at SMU, I mean, they struggled in November. UTEP, Buckram went over 200 yards. Marshall ran the ball at will.
Same long pass far sideline. Session with the catch this time, and he's got enough for the first down.
A nice throw by Kaepernick, but still. Benny Thomas making a break on a football.
All right, here's your lineup Saturday, Capital One Bowl Week. Marshall, Ohio, Pitt, North Carolina, BC, USC. Let me try this once again. Pitt and North Carolina. Who do you like in that one?
All right, I'm going to finally give you a pick on this one. How can you not like Pitt in that football game?
How can you not? Carolina's a home team. Wimberly thrown to the ground violently. I like Pitt as well. So you like Pitt? You like BC to pull off the upset, or the Trojans?
I like USC in that game, but you know, BC has been up and down. They've been mercurial, and if USC isn't ready to play and BC throws out one of their better games, you know, the Trojans could continue to struggle, and not out of the realm of possibility for Boston College to spring an upset.
Pretty impressive, that graphic just a moment ago, as Kaepernick tacks on more yards right now. They're inside the 5. Dwayne Sanders with the catch for 2,000 yards and 1,000 yards. Back-to-back seasons. First player in NCAA history to do that.
2 of Kaepernick's better throws on the last 2 passes he's hit. Yeah, that is impressive, because you know, he did this last year, obviously, back-to-back seasons. He was only the 5th quarterback to do that in NCAA history.
Trying to get to the end zone, throws this one away. And it's 2nd and goal.
And when you look at Kaepernick running the football and how he attacks defenses with his legs, and back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, there have only been 10 quarterbacks that have ever done that at this level. And Chris Holt's not going to be excited in the locker room. It's not going to be a fun plane flight home back to Reno. But there's one thing that he does have, and that's Colin Kaepernick next year.
Stepping up, they got a hold of him now. Had the jersey at the 11, and down he goes. E.J. Drury in there to help.
Timeout for Nevada, and Wolfpack going to try to rescue some dignity and respectability, if you call it that. 45-10 looks a little bit better than 45-3. People just tuning in to this football game, you might say, hey, wait a second, they got the bug wrong there. They got the score wrong.
Last time they were here, and it was here, the last time they were in a bowl, it was the '84 Aloha Bowl. Fourth bowl game in 5 seasons. 12-yard pass to make it 14-0, and Berline, playing Notre Dame at that time, had this chance at the end. They held off the Irish in a 27-20 win. And who would have known, to think at that point, playing Notre Dame, number 10 against number 17 in the Aloha Bowl, that they would not get back to a bowl until 2009.
There weren't as many bowl games back at that time. If you got into a bowl game, now at bowl games, it's almost like the phone book. You got to ask not to be in. 34 bowl games. There weren't 34 bowl games back in the early 80s.
Quick toss to the end zone, touchdown. Wimberly with the catch, and Nevada gets 6 on the board. And a moral victory, if anything, right now for that offense.
And Colin Kaepernick looked pretty impressive on the second half of this drive. Made at least 3 throws that were right on the money and not easy throws.
Ricky Drake on for the extra point, up and good. Drake, the junior from L.A. With Brandon Wimberly, just a redshirt freshman who led them in receptions and receiving yards all year long, makes it a 45-10 game. Don't forget, SportsCenter coming your way on ESPN. ESPN News. We'll give you a little post-game extra, wrapping things up from Aloha Stadium, and then you can go to ESPN360.com to watch the trophy ceremony live. And by the way, a little extra for those of you in Dallas on ESPNDallas.com.
Hey, look at Kyle Padron, and I mean, he should be a part of that trophy presentation. And you get a look at him there. I mean, he doesn't look like he's old enough to have a learner's permit. His rosy cheeks, and he is, I mean, 5-1 as a starter, taking over with that first win coming on the road against Tulsa. You know, the lone defeat down the stretch for Kyle Padron and SMU was a 3-point loss against Marshall on the road. Don't look now, but SMU was back.
Well, and the scary thing about it, too, is if you talk to June Jones, you talk to the coaches, they'll say, he doesn't really have an entire grasp of the offense yet. He doesn't have a grasp of everything we're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Okay, 32 for 41, 460 yards, hit 9 different receivers, a couple of touchdowns.
Well, when they look back, and when June Jones looks back, I think we're going to see an onside kick here. I think they're going to say this is a breakout game for Padron.
Jump ball. SMU coming up with it. And so everything going the Mustangs' way today. With 1:01 left, June Jones, the Mustang fans here cheering him on, and I think the Hawai'i fans here, those in attendance at least, cheering for June Jones and SMU. Fireworks going off in the distance. Well, the end zone at least. Short distance. And they're getting
remaining, and SMU can comfortably go to a knee and bleed the clock to zeros. And there's a smile from June Jones. It's about as big a smile as we've seen from him in 15 years.
You're right. Padron to one knee. The clock continues to run. You know, he said at the beginning of the year the goal was to win 6 games. He's very honest with his players and talks about you have to win this game, that game, what games you can afford maybe not to win, but 6 wins. That was the goal. They got to 7. They surpassed that. Now they're going to have a bowl win here in the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl.
Well, the story, the first 25 years. That's special. But you also look at SMU. You could tell when they got off the plane that they were thrilled to be here, and that was exciting. And then to come in and play Nevada, the top rushing offense in the country, and win 45-10. And SMU has a lot to be proud about.
The once proud program back in the national spotlight. June Jones has brought to this point 45-10. SMU a winner over Nevada in the 8th edition of the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl. It'll be an awfully nice trip back to Dallas. Go over to ESPN News. Post-game extra for live coverage of the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl trophy ceremony down on the field. Log on to ESPN360.com. For David Norrie, our entire I'm Terry Gannon. So long.
Too much like that ever again.
This is SportsCenter.
Aloha! June Jones. SMU stampedes Nevada's Wolfpack. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll still awaiting word on Joe McKnight. The Stag-Up, Stephon Johnson, ends on a positive note still. He won't forget that panicked race against time.
In the back of my mind, it's like, man, this could probably be it.
From the NFL, what the Cowboys exposed about the Saints, in which AFC pretenders will make the playoffs. And talk about great gifts, we go all access with the Lakers, plus LeBron's top plays. SportsCenter, right now.
Overdose! Oh, my!
Yes!
My goodness!
Happy holidays to you. Thanks for spending some time with us, and welcome to SportsCenter from Los Angeles. Along with Neil Everett, I'm Stan Barrett. Just like us, Nevada and SMU were focused on business before the holiday, and just like us, they're prominently featured on television.
Unlike us, they're in Hawaii, 78, give or take a degree at kickoff. It's the Sheraton Hawai'i Bowl.
We had 70 in L.A.
Did we? It felt like a chilly 70. There he is, June Jones, SMU. First bowl appearance in 25 years. They're 1-11 in his first season. He said he'd turn around. He did. Did the same thing at Hawaii. 9 seasons there. Came after the team that had a winless season in 98, made a bowl game in 99, went 51-19 at Aloha Stadium, not counting the bowl games, went to the Sugar Bowl, got run by Georgia, but that's another story. He's got a true freshman at quarterback. Kid's name's Kyle Padron, and Kyle Padron has got the run and shoot down. Of course, June learned the run and shoot from Mouse Davis when he played at Portland State long ago. First time they had the ball, Padron to Cole Beasley, 71 yards. And that's a 1st and goal for the Mustangs. Now check out Aldrick Robinson. Look at, oh my man! Well, his man ends up making the tackle. Next play, Padron to Sean Bray McNeil, right side, and 3 plays into it, SMU's up 7-0. Now Nevada went for it on 4th down on its possession. SMU stopped him. The first play after that, Padron, who's channeling his inner Colt Brennan, goes to Emmanuel Sanders. 58 yards, and that sets up a 1st and goal at the 3. He had a face mask penalty. They're now on the 1, and there goes McNeil again. He's got reservations for 6, and we're less than 7 minutes in, and it's 14-0. Let's go second quarter. It's 17-0. Padron going to avoid the rush right there. He goes shovel pass. That's a staple of that June Jones offense. 15-yard gain by McNeil, and 2 plays later, Padron. Sanders on the flat route. This offense, you throw it to where the receiver's supposed to be before he's there. Then he catches it. Nevada's defense, 2nd worst pass defense in the nation. It's showing that 24-0. Padron. Kid's going to scramble right before half, so he's getting it done with his arm and his feet. And then on a 2nd and goal, how about Beasley? A tightrope right there. Padron taking another look. They took another look on the field. Squeezes the ball and gets those feet down. play stands. Padron, 303 yards, 20 of 26, and 2 touchdowns in the first half. It was 31-0 at the half. It ended up 45-10. The power of Poi working for June Jones. Well, SMU, June Jones, has got them heading in the right direction. They went 1-11, as I mentioned. Now they finished this season 8-5. They are the most improved team in the FBS, or the artist formerly known as Division I. Did the same thing in '99 with Hawai'i. They went 9-4, won the Oahu Bowl after going 0-for in 1998. Well, Pete Carroll's got Joe McKnight right where he wants him. Now hopefully he's got him back in the lineup.